Ah. Okay, I'm here. I was running around setting stuff up and I still have stuff loading, so that's cool. But yeah, no. Hi! Wow, y'all are here. Welcome in, Antonio. Welcome in, Captain Blueberry, and welcome in, Starplays. I'm getting confused now with your real name. Or not real name, but the script blocks. Yeah, no, I saw your messages. Any more planets? No, I don't think so. There was something that I was thinking of before I came on stream, but I can't remember what it was right now. More planets. What other planets are there that like aren't in our solar system? Because I know you mentioned Kepler and stuff.
Clark's subscribed to the channel.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So, funny thing actually, script blocks, I saw that that you get that. There you go.
Script blocks subscribed to the
There
channel.
it goes. Okay, I was so worried. That's literally what I was testing out seconds before because I had everything set up and then I saw your messages and I was like, is it not working? It should work. I like was so sure, so I went to go test it out just now, but yes, it does work. Wasp? Is that another planet? Planet Wasp? Ooh, what's up with that one? What can you tell me about that? Acceptance? Hold on, I'm still finishing all the things I'm posting the TikTok and stuff where it's like, hey, I'm live. Those are always so funny because people find them and then like majority of the time they're like, no, you're not live, and then directly under that comment, because I like go right after stream to delete it, directly under that comment there's like 9 times out of 10 I think there's like, oh never mind, you're right there. So it's fun to see the like progression of that. It feels like slapstick comedy to me. But yeah, no, planets. I mean, I know there's a lot, but I don't know any. Well, that's not true. I know a couple. I know very few, and especially after yesterday, I know a bit more than I did now. Oh my gosh, but yeah. You're going to see that all stream? No, don't keep repeating it. I think there's a way to like unshow it. I could just turn off alerts and stuff, but that wouldn't be very fun, would it? But yeah, no, I'm hyped. It feels like it's been a while since I did art, even though technically I've been doing art like basically the entirety of this entire week. Whenever I'm not streaming and I'm not editing, I'm catching up on a bunch of other artworks that I need to finish, so it just feels like it's been a while, you know? Wasp is 1064 Fahrenheit to 768 Fahrenheit. It is near a star called RTX 998. It has no moons, but it is very small. You would be 20'9" if you survive the unbearable heat for 1 day. 1 day on Wasp is 567 years on Earth. Oh wow, so it's like, it's far. Wait, how do we judge days on other planets? Do we judge it based off like whatever star that they're rotating and how long it takes them to complete a rotation around that star? Or do they rotate? I mean, there's no way they rotate around our star, otherwise, you know, they'd technically be in our solar system, right? Well, then again, they are pretty far. Haven't seen it. I did a world record. Oh my gosh, but yeah. Draw me? Oh, well, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to draw. But yeah, no, I'm working on emotes. Finally, I'm back to working on emotes and stuff. There's still a couple more that I need to do, and then like every time that I get close to finishing something, more stuff comes into it, and I'm like, oh, the queue's getting longer. Pluto takes 3 years to go around the sun. Oh wow. So like, we would be a third of our age if we lived on Pluto, huh? Huh. Like this. Draw me a blueberry. Oh, if it's just a blueberry, I think I can manage a blueberry. If it's something small, then, you know, I could do a little on the side. That's not that hard. But something like, oh, detailed, massive portrait. That's... You saw with the last piece that I was working on. It takes me a while to get stuff drawn. So, it's a little bit difficult. Let's talk about black holes. Ooh, yeah, black holes. How hard is it? Well, okay. How much does it suck in, I guess? Is it constantly sucking in? Isn't it like a constant force being sucked in? Or I imagine it to be like a whirlpool, right? I think that's how you described it last stream too. Black holes. Yeah, I heard I heard from a professor of mine that was like obsessed with space. He was like, oh yeah, they make a noise or something. Either that or there was one like a couple years ago now that had like made a noise or something, or you could hear supposedly like screams from inside, but it wasn't really screams, it was just like some type of like screeching or something, like some type of OBS disconnected, reconnecting. Well, that's new. Okay, there we go. Reconnected. Let's hope everything's okay. Reconnecting successful. That was scary. Wow, I've never seen that before. Never had an administrator. I shouldn't have done anything differently. The only thing different... No, I don't think anything should be different. That's weird. That's weird. It's blurry. Oh, it should clear up in a little bit. If not, try adjusting your resolution settings. Because I know I always do that to the other screen that I watch the stream on. I like usually just have it set to like 140 so that it's not using too much data, but sometimes I'll set it to 720 if I'm being fancy. A black hole is a region in space, gravitational pull so strong nothing, not even light, can escape it. The phenomenon occurs when a massive star undergoes gravitational collapse at the end of its life cycle as the star core runs out nuclear power. She asked me, are you copy and pasting? Where's your source? Where's your source? Where's your source? Nah, I'm pretty sure, let's see. Bet you it's Wikipedia. Let's see, let's put this through a, what's it called, a copyright thing? What do they call it? Plagiarism check. Basic phenomenon that occurs. Huh. Actually, hold on. It didn't pull up in the general search. Let me check specifically Google. It can no longer resist its own gravitational force, causing it to collapse under its own weight. Actually, wait. Oh, it's from study.com. Wait, I think. Phenomenon occurs. Runs out of nuclear fuel. Well, it's saying that it hit something. Well, no. Actually... Holy shit, script blocks. Is that genuinely from you? I can't tell. Let's see. Let's search up black hole. Wikipedia. Control F. V. No. Actually, boundary. Welcome in, White Farms. We're getting a space lesson from a couple of space geeks inside the chat, which is, you know, super neat. Space is big. that's the extent of my knowledge, I think. I don't know much about space. I've never been off of the planet, as far as I know of, because, you know, there's that theory that, oh, well, whenever you're dreaming, you're actually in a different dimension, so who knows, right? But as far as I know, I've never been off planet Earth. Rising of a quad star, also known as a black hole star, is a hypothetical type of extreme, massive, and luminous star that may have existed early in the universe. Oh my god. So intense. I'm about to leave. Guys, stop fighting. I'm sure there's enough space facts for both of y'all. Oh my gosh. Intermediate mass black holes. These black holes are massive between stellars. What about wormholes? What's up with those? Are those technically black holes? They're both holes, which I don't know if that's like a reason enough to like really get the two of them similar, but what's a wormhole made of? Because my understanding of it is that it's like a warp in time and space. So let's talk about the ocean. Ooh, the ocean's scary. There's like so many things down there that I've seen. Actually, I have a genuine question. I was thinking about this earlier. So, in the ocean, right? In the ocean, there's a bunch of like sea creatures that live like super duper deep. And they have a bunch of pressure on them. And so I watched like a couple of videos, and like the whole thing about the blobfish, right, is that whenever they get pulled up, the pressure releases and it kind of causes them to kind of explode, and that's why they look like, you know, the way that they're normally pictured, all like ugly and stuff, right? If we were to live at the bottom of the ocean and then like get used to it, like the pressure or whatever, we could withstand the pressure and then come up, would we explode? Is it like kind of how an egg explodes whenever you microwave it? Like, that's what I'm curious about. That's what I was thinking about. The concept of wormholes come from mathematics, general relativity, Albert Einstein's theory of gravity and space-time curvature. Huh. Wait, so right now it's a theory? I thought they were like confirmed that, oh no, yeah, they exist. Well, then again, I suppose if they wait, is there like a known wormhole that we have? Let's see, is there an actual wormhole that exists, or is it all just theory? Wormhole that exists in space. I'm like typing. Are they real or could they actually exist? Oh, I didn't search on Google. I use DuckDuckGo, which is like great or whatever, I guess, but not really. No evidence for an actual wormhole ever being found. Oh, okay, so they're just like theories and stuff. I need to work. Mom and sister, so don't go anywhere. Okay, turn me. What I miss? Okay. Okay, no problem. Let's see. Graviter. Can I be a mod? No. Exist. They do. They arise from the solutions of Einstein's field and equations and general relativity, which allow for the possibility of such structures. Didn't think I'd be learning, but hey. You know, that's what you get whenever you come to a Paprika stream. It's either me, you're watching me learn, or we're all learning together. I'm leaving. Okay. Just, you know, be safe, enjoy your, I was about to say enjoy your milk and drink your vegetables. Drink your milk, eat your vegetables, and enjoy your day, and don't talk to strangers. Try and be safe. Wormholes can be visualized as tubes at two ends, each located at different points in space and time. If they were to exist, they might offer a way to travel vast distances across the universe. Yeah, could you imagine, like, in the future, if we, like, kind of figured out wormholes more? Because right now, from what I'm understanding, which is just like a quick Google search, is like no evidence for an actual wormhole ever being found, meaning that, like, it's mainly theory. This is all just, like, theory right now, but, like, what if we normalized it so much once we actually figured out how they worked, and then there were stuff like bullet trains, but they go through wormholes and stuff? Like, would there be highway systems made incorporating wormholes? Well, I'm pretty sure not, right? They're pretty, like, unstable and stuff, from my understanding. I'll probably forget all this by tomorrow. Mood! I don't retain information that great, but it's so interesting to know about, because then, like, how to say it? I make generalizations, kind of, or, like, more of, like, popcorn-sized kernels of information that I retain really well. And so sometimes I'll be like, hey, you know, like, did you know this, this, and that? Like, kind of how what Blueberry told me yesterday, like, oh, did you know that if Neptune, I think it was Neptune, were to crash into, because it's constantly being pulled by Jupiter, if it were to crash into there, it would create a, like, 200-mile-per-hour gust of wind. Like, just that. That's what I remember. But it's so interesting to bring up and be like, hey, did you know this? It's like a party trick. Can we ban script blocks? Script blocks, please. Calm down a little. Even though I am enjoying this a lot. I'm gonna go back on this and read this. It turns into, like, cool little party tricks that I can pull up. Alright, cool. Let's chill out. You know, this is comfy streams. Comfy streams. That's what I promote here. Comfy streams, and, you know, occasionally me trying my best. And sometimes that's not the comfiest or the calmest, but still, I try. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm excited. My brain is less flat. Let's talk about height on planets. Nah, I think we're done for planets for a little bit. I've got big space brain right now. I gotta leave some of it gelatinous so that whenever I start drawing, I can summon the art gods and then actually draw decently well. Because the more I think about it, the less well I do. Nah, that's too far. What are neutron stars? Stars, black hole stars. Black hole stars. Okay, so y'all keep, like, showing me these shiny words. They're like, what is it called? Zingworms or something? Zingworms. What? No, zing words, I think. Yes. Horrific dangers beyond my comprehension. A quasi-star, also known as a black hole star, is a hypothetical type of extreme massive luminous star that may have existed early in the history of the universe. Unlike modern stars, which is powered by nuclear fusion at their cores, a quasi-star's energy would come from the material falling into a black hole at its core. Whoa. So they're powered by nuclear fusions at their core, which would come from material falling into its core. So it's just like a well-fed black hole, I think. Supermassive stars, quasi-stars, both considered potential progenitors and formation supermassive black holes with wind cores collapse, resulting in a quasi-star. Whoa. Black holes are fascinating. Oh, it's 7:15. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and switch over to here. Whoa! Did y'all see that? Because I did. And I'm a little embarrassed, not gonna lie. I forgot to fix that. Okay, there we go. Wow, it didn't fix. That's great. Wait, so then what is it that's back there? Let's see. Oh! Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. There we go. Man, when you're not watching me learn something like genuinely learning, you're watching me learn how to better operate my software. Oh man. Let's see. There we go. Y'all didn't see anything, right? Right? We didn't see anything, right? There we go. Okay, now that we're done putting out that house fire, let's go ahead and I'm probably gonna end up coloring this one later, but I want to finish the line art on this one because I am behind on my work that I should have. I should have had this done, like all the emotes that I was supposed to get done, like a month ago, and I haven't. My 2/3. Oof. Maintain stability. See what I wasn't paying attention. Exactly. There was nothing there. It was a trick question, actually, you know, just to keep you on your toes. Like, see what exactly? You win. You pass the perception check. I've been seeing a lot of those videos where it's like the animated D&D stuff, where it's like this podcast, I think, where they play D&D and they have a bunch of characters and stuff, and somebody's making like a puppet show of them, and it's like so fun to watch. I enjoy it so much. Like, I want to play in D&D one day, but I'm scared because I don't know how to play D&D. Like, I kind of understand it where it's like you kind of make up a story where you have like the dungeon master and they're like, okay, you're a team of this going through this is your goal or whatever, and this is where you're gonna go through, and they kind of guide the game, and you just kind of like almost improv to whatever they give you based off of like die rolls and stuff. That's what I understand, but like it's scary because if I were to ever like participate in one, since I've never participated in one, I'll be like, oh, I'm not sure how to actually do this, and then I just have a fear that I'm not gonna be creative enough and everybody's gonna be like, wow, just that? Like, lame. And I'm too scared. Must have been funny numbers in the back of your bank card. Must have been, wait, what? Oh, the Chandraskar limit. Got me a little scared for a second. I was like, bank card? Nah. I don't keep bank information on the computer. That's the one good thing about me, I think. Nah, I'm sure I have plenty of other good qualities. Oops. Yeah, he's sending blanks right there. There we go. Auto clicker? Oh my god. Exposed. Script blocks uses auto clickers. There we go. Wasn't there like a while back a Mr. Beast thing where it's like, oh, whoever can... Oh no, wait, I think that was hold their finger on the button, not like click a lot. I feel like there was some type of like big competition though that was, oh, whoever can click the most. But like, didn't people... Well, I'm sure there was like a rule if there was really a competition that was like, oh, you can't use auto clickers. Because otherwise it wouldn't be fair, right? Be right back, 1 sec. Okay, bet. And there we go. Get this set up. Not really set up, just get the line correct. Sometimes I just have bigger lines and then I just erase the stuff that I don't need. Because you know what? Confident lines and big lines, I think, in my opinion, go hand in hand. The wider the range of motion you give your wrist, the more confident the line's going to be and the more steady it's going to look. But that also leads to really, really long lines, so it's kind of rough. Let's see. Right here. No. Nope. That should be good. And then this one is good for you. What's Kyrgyzstan? Is that sounds like a type of food or something. It's like Like something a mother would be like, make sure to eat your Kyrgyz cat, otherwise the boogeyman's gonna get you. Some type of like vegetable or something. There we go. You know, I could not decide what to eat today, so I kept like eating a bunch of snacks. So I have this really bad habit of whenever I focus on doing something, I want to get it done, and I don't want to stop to go eat. So then whenever I do get distracted, I'm like, well, since I'm distracted, I may as well go eat. And so I say I'm gonna go eat, and then I get to the kitchen and realize, oh, I have to like cook something if I actually want to eat. If not, I can get a snack. And I'll just eat later if I get a snack. And so I get a snack, but then later on when I'm hungry again, I'll go back to the kitchen and think, oh, I want to eat, but you know, there's nothing made because I didn't make anything last time, so I might as well, you know, just get a snack and then I'll eat next time. And says that like happens multiple times. And then I'll eat maybe like one meal a day because I keep saying like, oh, next time I'll actually make myself something. And it's just, it's a hassle. It's a hassle making food. I don't like making food because I don't like washing dishes. So like whenever I do actually want to make something, like genuinely eat food, I have to kind of cope with the fact that, hey, I'm gonna have to wash dishes. And it's probably gonna be like a couple of, I was gonna say sartenes, but what's the actual word for it? It's not skillets, I think. It's like frying pans and stuff, you know? Pots and pans, that's the word. That's the word. But yeah, it's not a healthy habit. Make sure y'all are getting enough nutrients. I also need to do that. I also need to take that advice. I can't just be doing that. Saying, oh, you know, make sure y'all are doing well and then not treat myself good, because then that's hypocrisy at its finest, I think. Is it? I don't know. I think at least it's not like a good way to live in the long term, because not only does it look bad on you, but it's not healthy and it's not sustainable, definitely, because at one point my body will like collapse or something and it'll be like, hey, we haven't been fed, and that's happened a couple of times. It's not like actual collapse, it's just my stomach will start hurting and I'm like, wow, why does my stomach hurt so much? And then I'll think, when's the last time I ate? And then it all clicks together. Oh, I need to eat. That's what's going on. Yeah, hunger pains, am I right? It sucks. It's not great. It's not good. It's not good. This is not a flex, because it's, even I will say, face front, that's not good. That's not good. But yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to figure out how to live better. Or how to human better. Did I know what? If you'd asked if I remembered, I would say the 21st night of September. But you didn't ask, do you remember? So I can't say that. There we go. That. Man, I cannot get these. It probably... Am I drawing on the right layer? Okay, yeah, I am. I could not remember actually switching layers. I was scared that I may have not switched layers. We're made by black hole stars? Oh, we are? Welcome back, White Farms! I'm struggling. Oh wait. What? Well, technically aren't we made from everything if everything is made from like star particles or something like that, right? Like everything's made from, well, there are, okay, I just had an epiphany. There are elements that we haven't discovered yet. So technically the statement that like, oh, we're made with everything, because, well, actually no, because even now there are elements that I'm sure we're not made of. Like, do we have any percentage of uranium in us that like isn't through accidental exposure? Like, is there any? Yeah, I don't think so. Man, the thoughts just keep going deeper and deeper. I'm like, oh well, what if there's a list of whatchamacallit, like elements that go into making a human body. And it's like, like a ingredients label or something. And it's just like a split second I had the thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we all had ingredient labels? Like, no, that would be weird. That's not a normal thing. Don't I don't think we need ingredient labels. Yeah, no, but because there's like, it's like cosmic dust, right? We're made from cosmic dust and stuff like that, supposedly. Actually, I don't really know. What is cosmic dust? Is it literally just dust? And if so, what makes it different? Well, okay. I'm thinking way too much about this, but I was gonna say, isn't dust, or wouldn't that mean that cosmic dust is like essentially the same thing as the dust we find like under our couches and stuff? Because dust is just a collection, well, really dust is a collection of dead skin cells and such. So would cosmic dust, oh my god, would cosmic dust be like cosmic dead particles? Is that how that works? Am I stringing the dots together correctly? Went to Jim's Grill and I'll tell you what, it was scrumptious. Yo, I don't know where that is, but that does sound scrumdiddlyumptious. Oh man, I need a lot of things. I think I need a good nap, but I always feel too guilty to actually take naps, even though I should be. Did you know there was a study released? I don't know how factual it is, right? I'm no scientist, but did you know there was a study that was saying afternoon naps are actually good for you? Which is great, because next time I take a nap, I might not feel bad about taking naps. Oh my god. Sometimes I feel like the day is just comprised of me waiting for like one specific event, and the rest of it is like, well, I'm already awake, so I might as well be doing this. Country style steak, creamed potatoes, and green beans with cornbread. That does sound good though. Reminds me of like those fancy dinners that I've gone to. Not a bunch of them, but the few ones that I have gone to. They always serve like some really, really cool stuff. I'll never forget, I was in one at school, and they served fried chicken, which I'd never heard of. So I was like, haha, there's a typo on the menu. And me and my friends like were laughing about it, like, oh, haha, look, they made a typo on the menu. And then like I was telling my dad about it, I think like a couple weeks after that, and he works in the food industry, right? So he was like, that's an actual thing. That wasn't a mistake. That's an actual meal. And so yeah, fried chicken is a genuine meal. And I didn't know that, so we were over there laughing, thinking we're so smart or whatever, because like, haha, how could they miss such a blatant thing? It was a main course. Welcome in Vixel Plays. But yeah, no, it was fried chicken is a genuine meal, and I was just not aware of that. Whoops. There we go. Pog. Hey, Script Blocks, are you still there? Because I just had a thought. I don't think I've ever seen you and Bixel Plays in the chat at the same time. Alt account exposed. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and do this. Oop, right there. That. There we go. I don't know if I'm tired or just like the temperature around the computer is always hot, but it's always like so stuffy around the computer. I've been kind of like avoiding my computer and stuff just because of the temperature, and it makes me uncomfy, which is probably not good because like all the work that I do nowadays is by the computer, and if not, I'm like 2 feet away from the computer fixing other stuff. But yeah, I just had a thought. I don't think I've stepped outside in like 3 days. Just because I forget. Well, not really I forget. I just don't have a reason to go outside, so. But I need to go outside soon. What does the outside world look like, I wonder? Need to go touch grass. Gotta redeem my touch grass objective. Otherwise I will cease to become human. Oh my god. Right there. I wonder if it's really healthy to gamify living day-to-day things. in terms of like the long run, because the moment, do you think you can become like too reliant on everything being gamified? Because I feel like they feel like that might be an issue or something that would arise at some point. I don't know. How would it be an issue? Well, okay. Here's like me trying to explain my thought process, right? But so assuming that you gamify everything, that means everything kind of gives this dopamine response in your brain. And so once you have that, like, not really constant, right? Because you still gotta, even if you did gamify your entire day-to-day life, you would still need to actually be doing stuff and, you know, like completing tasks and stuff. You should play FNAF VR. It can be really fun. I might. That does seem kind of fun. But I don't know. I would have to look into setting all that up and stuff. Is it like on the Steam? The Steam store is what I meant to say. If so, I may look into it. I don't know how I feel about standalone stuff. It's tricky, and then oh, I feel like my computer's gonna implode because I need to go take the computer back. Well, back up all my files and then take the computer and get it set up so that it can run the OS properly. But I've been procrastinating on it, and I feel really bad because I said to the computer technician that I was going to bring it back last week, and now we're a week past that. And so I feel like I lied. You know, so like a big difference, right? It should be on Steam. Pog, I'll look into it, but a big difference between, I don't know if it's a generational difference or if it's just like me and my dad, but like he does not have a problem like telling a shopkeeper, oh yeah, we're gonna go do that and then we'll be right back, like we're gonna get this, but we're just gonna go check that out first, right? When he says that, he's lying. He means that we're gonna go look over there and then we're gonna go look at another place for whatever we were looking for because your price isn't good. So he just lies, and I can't do that. Like if I say, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go look at that and then I'll come back and I'll come get this, it's because I'm gonna come back and come get this. Like, I don't know, he just lies so easily, and I'm always like, how do you live with yourself? And then the worst part is that, like, if I were to ever do that, right? If I feel, and I've done that like a handful of times, and it's just because if I do that and then I don't come back, I feel like I owe an apology if I do come back. So that means if I don't, if I do ever have to come back, or, okay, not necessarily if I do, but I can never come back to that shop is basically what my brain kind of like tells me. So it's like, oh no, they'll know, and they'll be like, hey, weren't you supposed to like come back over here? And that'll be embarrassing, you know? And yeah, if it ever does come to that, I can just be like, oh, well, you know, I actually found it for a better price over there, right? But that confrontation, I don't want to do that, so I just like don't, I just don't lie. Sometimes I'll just be like, oh, well, I can't really afford that right now, so, you know, my bad, or something like that. But nah, he just like, yeah, we're gonna go look over there and then we'll be right back. And it's like, no, don't say that. People say lying isn't good, but we've all done it. Oh yeah, no, lying is not the best way to handle every problem, but it is a solution to some problems. And I can say that for a fact, because there's some people in the world who can't really like understand when you say stuff to them. Like I mean, there's a bunch of different examples, but I won't really pull any up right now. But sometimes lying is just like the most effective way to get out of situations where people like that are really presented. Yeah, I've keep a lie running for probably 4 years now. Oh my god, what's the lie? See, that's my not biggest fear, right? But it's one of my fears of lying. That's why I don't like lying too much. Or that's why I try and avoid lying is the correct way. Or the correct thing I should say. But I don't like lying because then I'll forget lies. And then when my story doesn't match up, because they're like, oh, oh, well, yeah, you said you couldn't come because you went to go visit a family member. Oh, because your mom said no. And I'm like, no, I didn't say no. Like, I stayed at home that day. And then, like, I'd exposed myself. So I don't. I try not to lie too often. Or whenever I do lie, it's stuff that, like, there's no way that I could forget or something, you know? But that was to my parents, and that I didn't know about the SOW stuff in the anime. Oh my god. It really do be like that though. There's so many things where, like, honestly the best thing to do is lie. Which sucks. I wish there was like a society. Not really a society, because I don't know if it's society in general or just the world, or like the values that were instilled whenever we're growing up, but there is a reason that, you know, like, people are prone to lying. And it's just like, it would be nice if we didn't have to, but I see so many, like, situations where it's like, no, it's better if we lie. It's better if we say the not truth. There we go. And it's still going. Oh my god. It really do be like that. I don't think there's any lie that I've ever said that is still going. All my lies are short and sweet. If it's something that's gonna, like, continue coming up or is ongoing, even if I get in trouble, I say the truth, just because I have really bad memory, so I know that I would, like, end up telling on myself, which would be embarrassing, you know? And then it just, like, it decreases the amount of faith that they have in me. So I just tell the truth. But it's funny, I have this... Okay, so there's this one story that I have, right? And, so what happened was that my mom bought me this, like, cool pair of Sony headphones, right? And I really love them. And I'll take them to school and stuff. Reshi, and my very old school southern parents would go nuts if they knew I watched anime. Oh my god. Yeah, it's definitely... Okay. I don't know any parents aside from weeb parents that you would necessarily go up to and be like, look, I watch animes, look at this. Because even mine, like, all I did, or I didn't even say anything to them, I just watched anime and they would see it and they're like, what the hell are you watching? And I'm like, oh, just, you know, a show. And that's it. And even now, whenever they're like, what are you watching? I don't say, oh, I'm watching an anime and it's dubbed and it's about this and that. No, I'm just like, oh, I'm just watching a show. And sometimes, and it feels horrible to say, right? Because I'm a fan of anime. I like anime. I want to say, hey, I watch anime. Look, this is really cool. I really like it. It's totally different from cartoons. But I still go, look, I'm watching a cartoon. Or not really look, but like, oh, I'm watching a cartoon. Because I know that if I go through the explanation of like, no, anime isn't a cartoon because of this reason and this reason, so technically this is that. No, they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get it. They're just gonna, like, find one way to probably make it into an argument or something. So I'm just, it's a cartoon. I don't care. It doesn't impact me if you understand it or not. It's just, it's what I enjoy. So I'm gonna enjoy it. But yeah, no, there was something that I was talking about, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, Sony headphones. My brother. Okay, so my mom bought me a pair of Sony headphones. I really like them. I'll take them to school and everything. One day, I accidentally left them in my English class, but I didn't remember that I left them in my English class until, like, near the end of the day. So I went to my English teacher's class with the permission of, like, my current teacher or whatever, because I was in a different class, but I was like, hey, can I go visit my teacher because I think I left something there? And they were like, okay. Yeah, I dread the day they find out. Welcome in, Hex Dread. And so I went back to her classroom and I was like, hey, I left my headphones, you know, in your classroom. Do you, like, have you seen them? Has anyone, like, gave them to you? And she's like, no, but you can go check. So I went to go check and, like, it was empty. I should have left it at my desk because I always, like, hooked them onto a bar on the desk and it wasn't there. So I was like, they're not there. Did somebody take them? Did you see anyone with white headphones? She's like, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm like, okay, great. And so nothing. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me know if anyone ever turns them into you or if you ever see anything. And then from then on, I kept an eye out and I couldn't find them. So I went home that day without any headphones. And then I just, like, never brought up headphones And I just never watched videos in front of my mom because, you know, I kind of knew that if I said, because I'd been using them a lot, so if I were to have been watching videos out loud, she would be like, why don't you put on headphones? And I'd just be like, well, actually I don't have headphones anymore. And the thing is, I could have told my mom, I wouldn't have really gotten into that much trouble, but I didn't want to hear the lecture of, this is why I told you should take care of your things, blah blah blah, you should be more careful, you shouldn't be taking them to school, blah blah blah. Like, I knew the consequences of what I was doing if things had gone wrong, but I was riding on the chance that nothing would go wrong, which is not something that I really should have relied on. And so I just didn't say anything. And then like a week later I told my brother, and I was like, hey, like, I think he asked about them or something. He was like, where are your headphones? And I'm like, oh well, don't tell mom, but I left them at school and somebody took them. And he was like, oh, dang, that sucks, right? And so he didn't say anything. And then like 2 weeks after that, okay, so it's been like a month since they'd actually gone missing, and no one was none the wiser. And with the way my family works, we kind of like all forget frequently. Like, not too much, right? We're not amnesics or anything, but we don't have a good track record of remembering little things. Like if I were to suddenly stop using one thing, it would have to be something very prominent for them to be like, oh my god, what happened? Because like if I cut my hair by like an inch, they wouldn't notice, right? But if I were to go bald, then they'd notice. You know, it has to be something really big in order to get them to notice. And so they hadn't noticed, and we were at the store. And so my parents were walking ahead of us, and I was next to my brother. And we passed by like the store part where they had technology, because I think we were like in a Walmart, and so we were by the technology section, and we were passing by all the headphones, and he sees the pair and he's like, oh my god, look, it's just like the ones that you lost at school. And my parents are not that far, so you know, they slowly turn around and they're like, what? And I look dead at him and I'm like, are you serious right now? And he's like, oh, my bad, I forgot. Yeah, I kind of figured you forgot. Jeez. And so after that, my mom was like, what does he mean you lost him? I thought you still had them. It's like, okay, so I accidentally left them at school and somebody took them, and so now I don't have them anymore. And she was like, you know, she gave me the kind of mini lecture. It wasn't as much since we were out in public. She was like, oh, this is what I tell you should take care of your things, blah blah blah, you shouldn't be taking them. Yeah, I know. And my dad was like, it's okay, I'll just buy you a new pair. They weren't like expensive ones. They were like $20. And after that, I didn't take them to school anymore. I just took like little wired ones to school because I didn't want to risk losing them. So that's messed up, you know? Like, I know it was public school, but still, they just like took a pair of headphones. The teacher didn't know who did it, and they were smart enough to not bring them back to school so that the teacher could like see, oh, you know, are you sure those are the right headphones? And so it sucked. But yeah. And then there was this other time, I just remembered, it has been years since I thought about this, but so okay, where to start, right? So I had this keychain from an anime that I liked. It was from an anime called Charlotte, which is like, it's a cool anime. I recommend watching it if you haven't. But it was of the main character, right? Like the guy main character. And I really liked the anime, so whenever I saw it at an anime convention, I was like, ooh, I want this, and so I bought it, right? And I had it clipped on my backpack, which, like, rookie mistake. If you go to a public school and you have anything that you love, don't clip it to your backpack. That's like a terrible idea, okay? So there's tips from an experienced person who has lost said items. But anyways, one day I got home and I realized, hey, Dad, I don't have, you know, the thing on it anymore. My clips are gone. So I was like, oh no. And luckily I found, because there was two of them, it was that one and then the other main character who was a girl. I found one of them luckily the day after in this other class that I went to every day. I've lost 3 different earphones at school now. I can't leave shit here. Nah, for real, them shits, they just like, they jack that shit and then they don't. It sucks, you know? If I find stuff, like I'm always trying to look for like, oh, who left it? And if it's, because like, okay, the only time that I've ever actually kept something that I found was at a Hot Topic, and it was because whenever I was giving it to the employees, they were like, oh, well, we're not really gonna look for whoever lost it, we're just gonna keep it. It's kind of store policy in this one. And I was like, well, that's not good. So I stuck around the store for like 30 minutes looking for someone who would look for money or something, and no one would, so I ended up keeping it, and that just paid for my lunch. But other than that, like, normally I'm always like, hey, you know, I gotta give it to the right person. If it's at a school, you know, let's give it to a teacher and let's hope that it gets to the right hands, because that's how I would want people to treat my stuff if I were to lose it. But no, not everyone thinks that way. And so the freaking keychain, I had 2 of them. I happened to find one at the classroom that like I went to a lot, so I was like, oh, okay, cool, it's probably somewhere around here. And so I kind of kept an eye out, and I didn't see it, so I was like, oh well, you know, somebody probably picked it up. But then this other girl, and she was like a higher class, because so like in that class we had a bunch of different like levels of students, and so they were like a senior or a junior, I can't remember, but they were a couple years older than me. And it was like the ROTC room, so we were changing out that day for like whatever activity that we were doing that day, I can't remember. But we were changing out, and she sets her bag down, and I see it. I see my chain, and I know it's my chain because firstly, who else would have found that keychain? It's not a very popular anime. It never was, I think. It never was a very popular anime, so not everyone would have known about that. But also, who else would have the keychain other than maybe someone that went to the convention? But the like stall that I found that keychain at wasn't one of those like artist stall where it's like, oh, you know, they have a bunch of them that they're producing. It was one of those like just a bunch of different stuff stalls where you can tell these people just like bought it online and they're just reselling it, you know? And so there was no way she could have had that. And plus there was like the specific chain. Whenever I first got it, I broke it, so I switched it onto a different chain, so I knew it was mine. And so I asked her, I was like, hey, where'd you get that keychain from? And she goes, oh, I bought it at a store. I was like, oh, cool, what's it from? And she goes, I don't know. I just like the character. I think they look cool. I was so upset. But I hate confrontation. I'm moving like the screen around a little bit because it's bothering me that it's not centered. But it bothered me so much because she didn't know what show it was from, and she knew it wasn't hers, but she was like, I bought it. And there was no point in me like actually being like, hey, that's mine, actually, can you give it back? Because I don't know, I just didn't want to go through any confrontation, and so I was just like, okay, she can have it. And the way I kind of thought of it, I could not go to public school. My temper would cause issues. Welcome in, Chaotic Dearlina. I'm ranting about a story where someone stole my keychain at school and I was so upset. But yeah, no, how I coped with it was I kind of told myself, well, you know, maybe, hopefully, she'll like really like the character design, and then she'll go and try and figure out what anime it's from, and then she'll like the anime, and then I will have inadvertently exposed her to that anime. That's the only way I could cope with it, because I'm still pissed off to this day. It's so annoying. How could she just be like, oh, like, why couldn't she just be honest? If she had been honest, it would have given me the opportunity to be like, hey, actually, that's mine. I have the other matching set right here. That belongs to me. Please give it back. But because she was like, I bought it, I don't want to be like, actually, you didn't, because that's mine. Because I didn't want to throw down with some student at like it wasn't worth it. It was a keychain. I knew that. But God, it was my keychain. Script blocks. Oh my God. But yeah, there's like very few moments in my life where I've gotten genuinely mad. And that's one of like the memories that I have that can still make me mad. That's like, I think that's the same level as my physics class. And alright, fuck it, here you go, here's another story. So I hated my physics class, but I enjoyed the class, right? I enjoyed learning because, you know, I like learning about like a bunch of different stuff. And I say a bunch of different stuff because like I could not tell you what I learned from that physics class. It was, you know, it was school. Did we really learn anything? But that class was an AP class, and it was supposed to be taught like, oh, you know, in preparation for the AP test. But that year, I think it was a lie, right? I think it was a dumb rumor that they spread and like they just like it wasn't true, but I wasn't sure who to ask. But basically, I do unspeakable things to someone if they took my hat. Yikes, make sure not to take it, White Farm's hat, guys. Oh my god, but I'm watching you while playing VR chat. Oh my god, I'm being watched in VR. That or I'm being listened to like a podcast. I've done it. I've peaked. Oh my god, but it was okay. So that class was for AP, right? And the thing is, I am by no means rich. I'm not okay. Like I don't have money, right? And so in school for AP test, you have to pay in order to take the test, and it's not like $5. It's like I think around $50 per test, I think. And so normally they would provide financial assistance to like not well off students. So I had to apply for that, right? Normally I would like automatically qualify because, you know, they can see how much money my parents make, and they were like, okay, yeah, okay, here you go. You only have to pay $15, which is doable. And I would usually only take like one test per year. Okay, I'm back from work. Welcome back. And so that year, I don't remember if it was a student, but I think it was like a teacher that came in, but I'm not really sure. I don't remember at this point. But they were like, so we're actually not going to be doing that program this year of, you know, like y'all can, like the students who qualify can get, or can only pay, or only have to pay $15. Everyone has to pay like the $50 amount. And I was like, okay, so I'm not taking the test this year. And the good thing is that they didn't require it in order to be in the AP class. They were just like, oh, you know, just treat it like a regular class. If you want to take the test, you can, but you don't have to. And so that was good. So I stayed in the class, but I knew I wasn't going to take the test. And it's not very uncommon for someone to take, actually this kind of uncommon, for students to take the AP class but not take the test. And so the teacher knew that there were some students who weren't going to take the test. So what he did is he was like, okay, there's going to be two ways that I'm going to be teaching this class. It's for students who are taking the AP test and for students who aren't. And so let me know, like, within the first week of class. And so then we'll sort y'all into groups. And then from there, that's how I'll assign work. And so that's what we did. Well, the thing is, this exact hat is representing my uncle's long shut down business. So from what I know, there's only two that still exist. Oh, so it's like a rare hat. Yeah, no, yeah, then I can see why. I can see why you'd fight someone for that hat. But yeah, so that the class decided to split based off of who was taking the test and who wasn't. Okay, cool. I knew I wasn't going to take the test because they'd announced that, and I was like, okay, well then I can't afford to actually take the test. And so okay, so the teacher was like, okay, so for the students who aren't going to take the test, we're going to do like a project-based teaching method. So what I'm going to do is every like 2 weeks or so, I'm going to assign a new project based on whatever unit we're learning. And then your grade is going to be dependent on you completing that project and, you know, how much it meets the requirements. You know, it didn't necessarily have to work all the time, but it just had to meet the requirements of, you know, what we're expected to. And so we had projects like the egg drop and stuff like that. I say stuff like that because I can't remember any other one other than like the build up that I'm getting to. I value this hat more than someone's life. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, must be a really cool hat then. But okay, so it's the last project of the year, right? The final one, and he lets us know like this is gonna be your final project, so you know, like make sure to end the year off strong. And the thing is, it was kind of his fault. The projects were like kind of made to where you had to do every single one and get like a bare minimum of like a 40, I think, on each project in order to pass this class. Well, not really. I think you could miss like 2 or something. I don't know. But it was hard to get a 100 on the projects because, you know, we're still learning and I didn't really understand physics all that much. So I could never get a perfect 100. But I wasn't really like a 100 chaser in school, so I was fine. I gotta go. Hope y'all have fun and stay safe. Yep, you too. Be safe and take care of your hat. Oh my god. Drink plenty of diesel too. Oh my god. No, I don't think that's safe for human consumption still. Oh my gosh. But so it was the last project, and it was the rat trap car experiment or project. And so you had to make a car out of a rat trap and like specific materials that like you had to request from him. And so we did. Like I got into my group and we requested our materials, and then we started building, and I had like schematics and everything, right? And it was a really good car. It drove the farthest, and I put like okay, so the wheels were made of like CD discs, and then I put like rubber on them so that they could get traction too, because we had, I want to say, a linoleum floor. Basically it just had smooth tiles, because I don't know if it was actually linoleum, but I've heard that word before in reference to the floor, so I would assume it's linoleum, but I don't know. But it was some type of like really smooth floor, and so CDs on there, they kind of slip, and so they don't actually move forward. Hey, wasn't there someone on my Strange Addictions that was addicted to drinking gasoline? I feel like I do recall that episode. Even though I never watched it, but I do remember like hearing about that. Just like there was another person who I think ate drywall, I want to say, which is crazy. Guys, don't get addicted to to eating stuff, please. Please be wary of that. I don't really know how to avoid getting addicted to eating something though. I would assume just like change up your food habits enough. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, but like the car was really good towards like the end of the project, and I was coming in between classes to work on it and fix it up, because it was just, I found it really interesting. I liked building stuff, and then, you know, something that would move was even cooler to me. And so I was like dedicating time and effort into that car. Oh yeah, and that really loved his car. Oh, well, well, those are feelings that I guess are, you know, they exist. Oh my gosh, but that reminded me of a game, but I don't remember the name of it, but it's like one where you really love chairs, and I remember seeing someone play through it, and it's just, I can't believe that there's a game like that. But anyways, I made the car really cool, and I spent a lot of time on it, and then eventually it was the day of, right? And then the thing is, the day came right after like some type of break or something, so the teacher had locked the cabinets, and you had to like request for your car to be put in there, right? And so we're like, okay, and so since we'd spent a lot of time on it, we requested that our car be put in there, and he was like, okay, so he locked it in there. Well, the teacher had the great idea where, yeah, we're gonna lock all stuff in there to make sure like no other class or no other student takes each other's like student stuff, but I'm not keeping a close eye on whose car actually goes in there and whose car actually comes out. So all you had to do in order to get into the locked closet was say, hey, my car's in there. Can you open it so that I can get my car? And you know what that led to? Oh, it's crazy. Could you imagine what it led to? It led to so many people's cars being stolen the day of the project. And so the day of the project comes, and we're all excited. We're like, oh my god, we're finally gonna get like a 90 something, because there's no way we're getting 100, but there's no way that we're gonna get like a low grade on this, because it works so well. We were all like very confident about it. We named it the Ratatouille, guys. We were so happy. And then the day of comes, and we're like, hey, you know, can we get the keys? We're gonna go get our car. And he was like, okay. He gives us the keys, and we go. It's not there. Hey, professor, our car's not in there. Oh, I've had a lot of students telling me that. I'm not really sure what to tell you. If it's not in there, you can look around, but I don't know where all the cars are. Sir, you were supposed to be keeping an eye on all our projects. What the hell are we supposed to do? So we look around. We look at like all the other students' cars to make sure no other student from our class had stolen it. We didn't see anything. So we told him we can't find our car. And he's like, oh, well, I don't really know what to tell y'all. Y'all need something for the grade. Otherwise, y'all will get no grade. And we're sitting there like, what do we do? We did the work. You saw us work on the car. We finished it. It was great. And now it's not there. How are we supposed to control that? And he was like, I I don't know. I can give y'all 70. And that's the best I can do, because I did see y'all work on the car, but because it's not here, there's no way to actually grade it. So we took the 70. I mean, what else could we do? And we never found our car. And I'm still like so genuinely upset about that, because I spent a ton of time working on that car, and it was like a group of 4 people. So like more people could have worked on it, and I probably shouldn't have like spent that much time on it, but I genuinely wanted it to come out good. And it did, and then somebody stole it. And I think the worst part is that I wasn't able to see how it actually did. Because we could test it all we want, but I wanted to see how it did on the day of, and then I never got to see that. So it's so infuriating. And so yeah, that's my mini rant on that. Public schools suck because no one takes accountability for anything. Not even the teachers sometimes. Like, why? It's just like, I understand why he couldn't just give us a good grade, right? Because what if we'd built a shitty car? That's fair. But all I could do was, oh, I don't really have much to say. I can't really do much without the actual car here. Like, come on, man. And why didn't he take better care of it? Because it was locked. Shouldn't there have been, like, I don't know, a spreadsheet or something where it's like, oh, so-and-so's car's in there, so-and-so's car's in there, and you had to check it in, check it out, or something. You know, I get it, right? Because it's a public school. There's a lot of students there, and so it's hard to really keep tabs on everything. But still, if you're gonna make a locked closet, it's a false sense of security. That's all it was. It was just a placebo. There was nothing about it that was safer other than like, ooh, look, it has a lock on it, so surely it'll be safer. Ah, that reminds me of something else. So at my last job, right? Well, not really my last job. It was like the job before that. But so I worked in the front desk, right? And we met all kinds of people. And so what that means is that we needed safety measures against those people. Within like the first week of working there, I found in my desk a thing of pepper spray. And I was like, hey, manager, why is there pepper spray in my desk? And she was like, well, as you know, we meet a bunch of different people in this job, which is cool, but you know, not everyone's a nice person, so we have that there like just for safety measures. And I'm like, okay, cool, good to know what I'm preparing for, you know. So there was that. And then how to say it how to word this, right? So the desk had like a full view of the front lobby, and the front lobby was like not that big. It was like maybe 2 really small supply closets, like, you know, those hallways that have the like closets in the hallway where you can like store stuff like covers and stuff. They had like, it was like the width of 2 or 3 of those cases. It really wasn't that big of a waiting lobby, but we had that, and then like a big window that I could close, and like it would be just slightly cracked open, or not slightly, it was like enough to fit like maybe 1 person, but it was like kind of high, so it's not like they could climb through it. Well, they could if they really wanted to, but you know, it was just like a big window that I could see people out of, and I worked like right in front of it. I always thought, you know, like, oh, well, if somebody really does, you know, get any scary ideas, all I have to do is like close the window, and surely it's like a good window, right? Otherwise, why would they put it there? You know, it has to be some type of safety thing, and you know, even then, right? Surely the window serves some type of purpose. Well, after a couple weeks of working there, I met a bunch of interesting people, and we always had this candy bowl, and that candy bowl was kind of there as like a literal eye candy, so that people would get interested in it and be like, hey, can I have a piece of candy? And then we'd be like, oh, well, actually, that candy is for people who enter our Facebook raffle. So you have to go and like us on Facebook so that we're able to give you a piece of candy. I didn't like this. I don't like, you know, pandering for, oh, please follow me on this, follow me on that. You know, it's just, I don't know, it feels so lame. So I never really pushed on it too much. I only like said that whenever they would ask about the candy. I'd be like, oh, actually that's for our Facebook raffle people. If you want one, you could enter for the raffle, and then we'll be able to give you candy, and you get a chance at winning this raffle. And all you have to do is like us on Facebook. And normally that would be enough, right? Some people, however, were interested in the candy. They wanted candy. That's great. Everyone loves candy. Everyone loves candy. So, you know, like, I'm more than happy to give you some candy if you let me, like, give the spiel. You don't even have to actually do it. I'll just, like, give you some candy. I won't care. But some of them didn't like asking. So you know what they would do? While I was on the computer, like, pulling up whatever I needed to pull up for them, they would go to the other side of the window where the candy bowl was and grab the window, okay? Because it was like a double sliding window where, like, the slide that they would normally stand right in front of me, that part was, like, always open. And then on the other side was, like, the other part of the window that you could also slide open. Both sides could be open at the same time. So they would grab it because they'd see a little handle there. Their hand would slip because obviously the handle was not on the outside because it's for the safety of us. And then they would just push against the glass and pull it to the side. And they would just, like, open it without me actually opening it. And, like, I wasn't, like, super loyal to that company, alright? I wasn't like, oh man, how could they be stealing from this company? This company's doing so much for them. No, I didn't care. Take candy. Take as much candy as you want. But my concern was that that window, I felt, kept me a little bit safer. And seeing that, because, like, the whole idea of it man, I tripped over a bunch of words there. The whole idea of it is that no one can get through it unless I allow them to. Well, the window has no safety measures, so as long as they pull on it at the right angle with the right grip, it just wide open. So that window does nothing. It was a false sense of security. And after learning that, and, like, one day while, like, the office was dead well, the office was dead and no one was in there, I went onto the other side because I knew how to unlock the door because there was, like, another door too. It wasn't just that, but in the lobby room, the window, and then right next to it was, like, a door that would lead to where our actual offices are. But that one had, like, an actual buzzer system, so I had to actually buzz people in. So there was, like, an actual safety thing. But that window was, like, so big that it didn't really make up for how much of the window was actually vulnerable to people just getting in. But I went to the other side and left it unlocked so that I could still get back in. And then I went to the part that the part of the window that people were actually, oh my god, the part of the window that people always open. And I start pushing it open. And it was way too easy to open it. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a thing that for months now, I was like, oh, well, this'll surely keep me safe. I mean, I knew it was a window, right? And worst case scenario, I thought, was just that it wasn't made of really thick glass, which I knew it wasn't because I moved it a lot. It was really kind of thin glass. Brick walls lend you a hand? Yeah. It would have been great if it was just a brick wall, but no, it was just regular, like, sheetrock wall. So no, after that, like, after going and testing it my damn self, I realized this isn't safe for me. So I just need to keep that in mind when dealing with people in general, that, like, I'm not really safe. I'm not safe at all. I don't know if I really like that, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now and then focus on the other part. Yeah, no, but yeah, that was my disillusionment with the window. I was like, oh, I'm so safe because the window is there, you know, it's like a barrier. No, it's more of like a placebo. Like, you feel like you're safer because of the window, but you're not actually that safe. You're not actually safe at all. It literally is nothing to push it aside and actually get into it. So yeah, there was that. And then, oh my god, like, it was so unsafe. But the buzzer door, right? The buzzer door that, like, I had full control over, me or any, like, of the employees who were on the other side. You had to be on the other side to actually access a button to let people in through the buzzer door. So surely, you know, at least worst case scenario, you just get away from the window and then you're safe. You know, you got that buzzer door. It wasn't like a thin door. It was a pretty thick door. I'll give it that. It was a pretty thick door. So the way that they had it connected was there was this cable connected to the door, and they ran the cable through the office, and the wire came through the wall right next to the window that you could open willy-nilly. So if someone really wanted to and knew what they were doing, and even the office technician knew how to do this, and I specifically learned it from him, I think. But what he does, or like what you can do, if the door is closed and is locked, all you have to do is open the other side of the window, find the correct cable, which isn't hard because it's a different colored cable than all the other computer cables. You grab that cable, you pull it. You just pull it until the button comes to you, because the button was just like a freestanding thing. It wasn't anything mounted. It wasn't like secured down somewhere. All you had to do was pull that cable until you reached the end of it where the button was, press the button, get to the door, and open it. All of the safety measures in that office were fake. All you had to do was know how things were hooked up, and then, you know, it's so easy to get in. And it's like one thing if there was like a key code or something, and so all you have to do is know the key code. Like that, you know, requires its own set of internal knowledge. But no, the way you could get into like that front office where I worked where I was just like there, like I if someone would have wanted to get in, they could have, and I would have had to figure out how to fend them off. And the good thing is it wasn't like a prison or anything, right? It wasn't anything to where I was actually in danger. It's just the people who would come there, they weren't always the greatest. I got called a brick wall there once. They were like, you know, talking to that receptionist is like talking to a brick wall. Welcome back, Evelyn. I'm back. I was on your other live stream. Yeah, I think. I think I do remember you. I'm ranting a little bit about my old job. It was not safe. It was not safe at all. There were so many like fake measures where it's like, oh, you know, we got a buzzer door. Well, it was easy to open as long as you knew where the button was, and the button wasn't hard to reach from the outside where you're not supposed to reach it. And then stuff like the window that was separating me from the other guests that would come in was very easy to open, and it wasn't thick glass, and I'm pretty sure, like, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, it's not bulletproof glass. And I live in America, so that's fun. And there were so many other things, but it wasn't a prison. It wasn't anywhere where like specifically, oh, there's like a high chance that something will happen. But it wasn't a place where there was like a low chance of something happening. Or I'll just put one more up here. And yeah, no, that lady. Okay, so okay. I don't like talking mess about people, right? But here's the story, and I want you to understand, and maybe you can make your own judgment. Maybe I was like a brick wall, and if so, fair. Let me reset my tracking because I'm like off to the side because I was like leaning like this the entire time, so it regulated like if I was standing right here. Well, I say standing, but I'm not standing. I could not stand for this long. Give me 1 second. Let me just pop and then reset position. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you this story, and you're gonna tell me if you think I was like a brick wall. So this lady comes in. It's for an interview, right? Because I worked for, think of it as like HR or something, right? So I worked for them, and she comes in for an interview. Okay, cool. And through like whatever means, she didn't qualify for the job. I think it was because of her experience, but I don't remember too much. But she came in and like I asked her the normal, hey, do you have the code for which job you're applying for? Because we handled a bunch of different jobs, so we weren't sure who came in for what. They would say, oh, it's one in this area of the state, or oh, it's one that pays this much, or oh, it's one that does this. A lot of our jobs were super similar in pay, in type, in where they were, so we didn't know what that meant unless it was like a super unique job, which was very rare. Oh my god. So, you know, I asked her the normal thing that I do. Oh, which, you know, do you know the job code that you're coming in to apply for? She goes, well, it's the one in this location that pays this much and is for this. That narrowed it down to like maybe 3 jobs, but even then I wasn't sure, like specifically. Popping in to say, hey, the art is looking great. Oh, thank you. It's so zoomed in, but, but thank you. That's a shot of what it is. It's gonna be a sleepy emote. But... she so like after some like back and forth, and the thing is, right, I know how a lot of the people that would come in are. If I continue to hammer on, hey, I need specifically the job code, and they didn't know what I was talking about by the job code, they would get annoyed that I kept saying, oh, well, I don't know what the job code is. Y'all didn't send me any job code. I don't know where the heck it's supposed to be. What do you expect me to do? Like, it's too much. I don't get paid enough for that. So I was like, okay, do you know what the job code is? Oh, no, I'm not sure, but I know it pays this much and it's from here. Oh, okay, let me see if I can figure that out. And then I would go on my computer and I'd try and figure it out. And if I can figure it out, I'd be like, oh, do you have a text message from there? Do you remember who specifically called you in? Do you remember any other details? Oh, I'm not really too sure. Oh, I don't remember. That was the most prevalent answer. Can't you please just write it down or something before you come in? I don't know what you're applying for. Tell the story about you and me. I don't remember it. And so like I couldn't figure out what this lady was applying for, and it took me like a good 15 minutes to figure it out, right? And I get it, that's not the fastest, that's fair, but to be fair, we had, I'm like trying to figure out a general number. I think it was anywhere between like 50 to 100 jobs at a time that we were staffing for. So, you know, it's kind of like a whole database to go through. So it's not like, oh, well, I just didn't look fast enough. No, there was a lot to go through. So the lady was like, oh, like after I finally find it, I'm like, okay, so have you applied with us before? Because that changes the processes. If she had applied with us, I would have told her to go on a certain option. If she hadn't, then I would have told her to go on to another option. It depends, you know? And so I was like, have you applied with us before? She goes, no. So I'm like, okay. So I need these documents from you in order to get you processed, and I'm going to send you over to that computer and I'm going to have you do that paperwork. Okay. She gives me the documents, right? Okay, cool. And then I process her or whatever. And then she goes and she does that. And then it gives her a message. And it gives her a message that shows that she'd applied with us before. So I'm like, okay. And the thing is, whenever these revelations are coming to like, when there was like a bunch where it was like, oh no, I haven't done this before, oh no this, oh no that, they, if I point out, hey, you were lying, or hey, what you told me wasn't true, they'd get mad. So I'd never point it out. I was like, oh, okay, so it looks like you are already in our system, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Like, I wouldn't be like, do you remember being here before? Like, I wouldn't pester her on it. I would just move on to the next step. Just be like, okay, so this is already like this. Explain to her what's going on, and then move on. But I wasn't very like, so how was your day? You know, how are you doing? And I understand if you're the face of a company, if you're like really a receptionist, then yeah, sure, do that if you're waiting on something. But I was always busy inputting stuff, so I didn't have time to do that. I was too busy trying to figure out what this lady was applying for. And so eventually we get her situated, and then it gets down to the thing where we were about to interview her, and then we figure out on her file that she'd already like come in for that interview, and we'd already rejected her. Like, we'd let her know, hey, unfortunately we're not gonna be able to like proceed with your actual profile or with your actual application. Do you stream where you watch Skibidi Toilet 1 through 56? No, and I'm probably not gonna do that because that may get copyrighted. You really have to put your feelings aside when you work in the service world, for real. Like, they're... But anyways, basically I was just being like very normal to this lady, very neutral. I'll admit I wasn't being the friendliest, but I wasn't like, can you hurry up and give me this, or like, oh, I need this to hurry up and process. Like, I wasn't rushing her. It was literally the most neutral interaction. And then whenever I had to call the manager, because I was like, hey, you know, like, we see this, and whenever it got to like anything where I knew that they would try and blow up at me, I was like, okay, I don't get paid enough for that. I'm gonna go call the manager like I'm supposed to, and they're gonna handle it. I was in the live stream hand review. Yay. Yo. This one's very different, as you can see, but yeah. Thank you for coming back. And so I called the manager and I'm like, hey, there's this lady. I have a feeling she's gonna give me some issues. We found this on her file. Can you go talk to her? And the manager, you know, I had my issues with the manager, but she was there for us when she needed to. And by that I mean like every time that it was actually work related. never mind. And so she came up to the front and she was like, hey, you know, she started talking to the person. She was like, hey, so we actually found this, so unfortunately we wouldn't be able to continue with your application because of this and that, and so yeah, you know, that's it. And so the lady kind of fights back like, well, why didn't y'all tell me? Why did y'all call me in here? And we weren't really sure what to tell her, right? Because we don't know. There was another office team that was prone to a bunch of accidents and stuff. And so it, of course, had come from their office that they requested that she come into our office to finish whatever. And their information was wrong. So, of course, we had to deal with whatever fallout from that. And then, you know, she was like, she eventually gave up because my manager, she knew how to put her foot down. She was like, no, so this is what it is. Unfortunately, that's all we can do. She was very good at like the professional customer service stuff. So eventually, you know, the lady kind of like, she's kind of like muttering under her breath, but she's on her way out. Before she's out, as the door is closing, she grabs it again, swings it open, steps in, and goes, that worker right there, and she points directly at me, and she's like, it's like talking to a brick wall. My manager stepped up so fast, okay? I had issues with my manager, but I will always respect her for this. I respect her at the end of the day, regardless of what she did. I respect her. I respect the hell out of her. She like, she put her hand up and she was like, I will not have anyone talk about my employees like that. You, like, my employee has done nothing to you, so you do not have, like, I forgot how she said it, right? But, you know, very customer service, like, no, you're not going to talk about my employees that way, because it's not my employee's fault. This has nothing to do with my employee. This is just how the system is. Please leave. And, you know, she's like some back and forth. She's like, talking to a brick wall, talking to the brick wall. And she leaves, and I'm sitting there like, okay. I felt like a kid watching parents argue. It was embarrassing to sit there, but I mean, what was I gonna do? Leave? Trust me, I get what you're saying. Dealing with people is real cringe sometimes. I've had my share of people blowing up on me. Yeah, and they do it for like no reason. It's like, I'm just a messenger, man. There were some people that I genuinely wanted to help, but there was only so much that I could do. All I could do at best was push for their application to like really be looked at again, because sometimes they didn't qualify for the jobs, and that was fair. But if they were nice to me, and that doesn't mean like kiss up to me, that doesn't mean like tell the funniest joke, that just means be a neutral person who comes in and gives me all the stuff that I request and has all their stuff together and knows what they're there for. They're the people that I would like try my hardest for. Now, if they were super nice to me, you know, even more. But again, there was like an extent of stuff that I could do, but it wasn't really much. So at most it would be like, oh, they don't qualify for this. Do we have any other jobs that we could offer them? If not, I could put them on the list of people who are seeking like that type of work or something, so that the next time that we do have a job that would better qualify for them, then, you know, we'll be able to reach out to them. And that was it. That was all that I could do. I couldn't do much. I wasn't like a tall person in the hierarchy, you know? But I did what I could. And so it wasn't hard to be a nice person. Like, to anyone who is scared of being a horrible person, I think the best thing you can do is just be a totally neutral person. And this, like, is in terms of customer service. I don't think you should really be afraid of being a horrible person. And even if, like, let's say you go and request something, right? Like, let's say you're at a restaurant and you need a request for something to be put to a side. It should be fine. And if you're unsure about like, oh, maybe I'm making too much requests, just be genuine. I'm so sorry. I really don't mean to put y'all out. It's just like, I really want it to be like this. I'm so sorry if y'all can't do that. Please let me know and I'll try and, you know, order something else. But, you know, if you can, I would really, really appreciate it. 9 times out of 10, the service staff will try and help you out. As long as you're really nice. That's a good attitude. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just have a good attitude about it. And then people are gonna want to help you as long as you're a good, nice person. Honestly, it doesn't even, like, because we're not gonna do a background check on you and be like, oh, well, actually, you have an outstanding ticket. from back in 2005, so we're not gonna be nice to you even if you do like continue to be nice to us. Like, no, we're not gonna do a background check on you. All you really gotta do is be a neutral person and, you know, do your best to like show that I'm not doing this as a personal attack. And make sure not to raise your voice too, because if you raise your voice, if you give any sort of attitude, it's like a one-way ticket, okay? Because me personally, I can ignore a little bit of attitude. I was really good at that at my old job, but some of my other coworkers weren't so great at it. So any bit of like curtness, any bit of attitude, they would pick up on it immediately and be like, I'm not gonna look for another job for this person. They don't qualify because of this and that, and it's like a genuine thing that we can't actually offer them this work. But because they were being mean, I'm not gonna look for any other job. Why would I do that? Why would I stick my neck out for someone who's being mean to me? And that's just the kind of power that they hold. Which, you know, like, it's not unfair. The rules of the like whole company was kind of like the service we fulfilled, right? Is people would come in for one job and we interview them for that job. It wasn't our job to try and find them another job. It was their job to go do that and apply for the correct jobs. It was our job to see if they qualified, and if they did, get them to the next process. That was it. We didn't have to do anything else. We all understood that, and we used that to our advantage because we were all underpaid. Oh my god, staying cordial is rough sometimes. For real. It's like, it always made me proud whenever I could get through a bunch of, or not a bunch, it wasn't frequent that I had a bunch of like insults or whatever. For the most part, I tended to have like a very neutral experience there. There were some people who were like really annoying. There were plenty of people actually that were really annoying. They would come in and you could tell that they just like, oh, you're just a receptionist. I don't care. Just like hurry up and do this or hurry up and do that. But there were some people that were just normal, and there were some really, really nice people. And it's just like, it's not that hard. Just be like normal. Just be normal and be nice. Oh my god. Yeah, I just reminded myself of this other lady that came in. Why is it the ladies? Like okay, there were some not nice men, right? I will be the first to admit. So it wasn't like a gender thing. There's can be nice and mean people in both genders. But this one lady in particular, I don't know, I think it's just like men, from what I experienced just at this job, men would always be upfront about like if they were being mean, right? Which was like easy to handle. It was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go call my manager and I'm gonna pass this off because, you know, this is not my job to deal with this. But ladies, they would I don't know, they would just be so like discreet about it, kind of. They would be very curt. They would snatch things away from me. I'm not hard enough to where I could go and call the manager and be like, hey, you know, physical, like they're being a little too like physically rough and I can't stand for it. You know, it was always stuff where like I can handle that, but I don't like it. And there were some times where they would just like, I don't know, they would kind of treat me like I was dumb. And it's like, the job was a lot more work than something just as simple as like I wasn't there and I wasn't just counting. I was there and I was like processing everyone's paperwork, making sure it got scanned correctly, double checking all the like actual documents and stuff, and seeing if you actually qualified before I send you into the person who actually checks if you're qualified. Because guess what? If I send you to the person who actually checks if you're qualified without you being fully qualified, then I get talked to about, hey, you should really like review it before you actually send them in. Like, I'm doing more than what you understand, and you're over here like, oh, can you like move a little faster? I have somewhere to be. Like, it's a process, ma'am. It's a process. Give me a second. And then they were just like, well, I don't understand why. I don't need you to understand. I need you to sit down and be quiet, please. I had someone get aggressive and call me racist over handing my change wrong to them before. I stayed calm, talked normally. I felt really proud of myself. Yeah, I feel like we should all get pats on the backs for moments where like, okay, you're being petty, you're being mean, and I'm not gonna deal with that. So I'm gonna be super duper nice. And you're like, there's gonna be no socially acceptable way for you to still be mad at the end of whatever I say. Because like, those responses are hard. It's difficult. People, oh my god, people get upset over a lot of things. So it's hard to like not upset people. Well, okay. It's hard to not, how to say it? it's hard to do anything and expect 100% that people won't get upset. Because I feel like there's no actual way to guarantee. There's no statement that could ever be said that people won't be like, well, actually. And it makes it a lot more difficult to navigate social spaces and stuff with that. But I guess that's the price, right? That's the price that comes with everyone having thoughts, which are good, I think, at the end of the day. As a society, technically, the different amount of perspectives that we can have in life leads us to kind of figuring out the future and what different ways we have through life, I guess. Like different solutions. It's hard to figure out the words for this. But yeah, it is. It's rough. Do you ever laugh after they leave when you act overly nice when they're mad? Yes, because it's a good I'm like so frustrated right now. Yes, because they'll act so like, oh, full of themselves, I swear. And then the nicest person ever. Oh, I see. Okay, let me go ahead and fix that for you. Oh, okay, let me go ahead and get this done for you. Oh, okay, so let me actually help you out with that. This isn't that, this isn't that. And I get it done, and I'm quick, and I'm curt, but I'm smiling, and I got that like nice customer service voice, and they don't know how to respond to that. They're like, oh, whoa, okay, cool. And that's all they can do. It's like they've lost the argument and they don't know how to get control of it. Because if I'd been like, if you can please calm down, they'd be like, what do you mean calm down? I'm talking perfectly fine. Like, no, you're not. You're getting mad, and I don't know what you're getting mad at because I'm doing my job already, but I'm just gonna do my job even more, and then you're not gonna know how to respond to that, because if I'd started fighting with you, then you would have known how to respond. But because I don't know, you're confused, and then it's funny because it's like, oh, yeah, what are you gonna say now? I do my job good. I do my job super good, and now you don't know how to respond. Because guess what? There was nothing to actually respond about. Like, they literally realize that they're getting mad over nothing, and then they just kind of sit there like, well, no, I have nothing to argue about. It's so funny. Customer service is hard. It is so hard. It is so hard. Finally someone gets it for real. It's I have a lot more to say, but I can't really say it about it. Oh my god, you know what? It's been a while since I have cold water here. It's been a while since I had cold water. I forgot I got one. Okay, give me a second. Hydration check. Oof. Ow. You know when you swallow something and it like slowly goes down your throat? Oh, and then it just hurts? Ugh. Fuck. Ow. Hello, I thought I've seen you before because I used to watch a VTuber quite similar to you. Oh, did you see who it was? I remember you came in last time and you're like, do you know if you remember me or something like that? Like, oh, do you recall me? And I don't. I don't know. I think the last time you came in was your first time. What's this? Me. Welcome in, Kenneth. I'm drawing my character being sleepy. It's gonna be an emote in the Discord as soon as I finish it. Yeah, it was me. Yeah, see, I have a little bit of memory, of knowledge, of memory, I think. I remember a little bit. Not much, but occasionally I do. I'm trying to do like a little drool, but I don't know how to actually do it. Oh, I know how to do it. Ooh, I feel like I'm about to hiccup or something, which is not good. Those hurt. So I used to have this like ability where I could just like I could recite the ABCs really, really fast, and once I would get through like 2 rounds of the ABC, it wouldn't, like, I wouldn't have the hiccups anymore. But that doesn't work anymore. The other night I was editing and I was like, oh, let me just use that trick that I used to do, and so I ran through the ABCs and I just continued having hiccups, so that wasn't fun. Ah, but you know what? I did forget. Do you watch SML? No, I don't. Is that like the, what is it, Saturday Night Live? Gotta go have a good night, drink water, goodbye. Man, my brain just exploded, I think. But yeah, no problem. You two have a good night. Drink your milk, eat your vegetables, and stay safe. Don't talk to strangers or at least try to use your best judgment. Man, I'm tripping over my own tongue. Cannot talk. But yeah, because of that hiccup stuff, I can now say the ABCs like pretty dang fast, and it's not actually like just you know, not like the I could say it super fast. No, it's Jeffy. Oh, okay. No, I haven't watched that. But that reminded me. Have y'all ever seen that video of that one guy, and he goes on to like a talent show, and he's like, I can read books under like 1 second. And they're like, okay, so, you know, show us. And so he takes a book and he just like flips through it really fast. And he's like, there, I read it all. And they're like, okay, well, what did it say? And he's like, oh, well, I don't actually like, I don't know what they say, but I can read through the entirety of it. Do you like anime? Yes, I do. Otherwise I wouldn't, well, I was gonna say, otherwise I wouldn't be an anime girl online. But there are VTubers out there who are like, I don't really like anime. I just thought it was cute. And so I guess that's not really an accurate statement to make. I saw that. Yes. So that it's crazy the confidence that he had, because he was like, yeah, no, I can read it. I can read it. Okay, what does it say? Well, that's a different skill. Like, no, then you're not reading it, because the whole point of reading it is to, well, okay, I guess technically, right? And I'm gonna try to like describe this the best that I can. I thought I was running over a wire right now with my chair, but no. So technically, reading and comprehension are two different skills. I can't agree with that. But normally, whenever you say, hey, I read this book, it's kind of, what is it? Predicted? No, it's expected that you comprehended it too. But technically, it could be stuff like, oh, I can read this language, but I don't understand it. Like, I can just sound out the words. So technically, it counts, but that's not, it's not something that you should be like, oh, look, I can do this. Super cool. Well, unless it was like a new language or something, in which case, like, yeah, because that makes more sense, because knowing how to actually read it in the correct, like, way of pronunciation, then yeah, that's a talent. But saying, it's my native language and I can read it really fast, but I'm not going to comprehend anything, that's not a talent. Do you like Demon Slayer? I think it's really cool, but I haven't watched the second season. I've been like putting it off a little bit. Love your art. Thank you. Me talking with people. The last time I saw you was 6 days ago on Funny Enough Your Art stream. Oh my god, you came to the last week's stream. Me, Lowell, and Olive Boy, Nezka-chan. Oh my gosh. But yeah. I can recite the ABCs really, really fast. Do y'all want to hear it? Like, I'm a little bit proud of it. I don't really think it's a talent. It's not that impressive, but I do think it's like a funny side effect of like a weird thing that would work for some reason. It's so cool. Calling the police. Okay. Y'all ready for this? I'm gonna zoom on by. I'm gonna gonna break the sound barrier with how fast I'm gonna say it. Okay. Let me focus. 1, 2, 3. A B C D E F G H I J K L M P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Now ABCs. Don't know sing with me. Ta-da! It's kind of lame, but it's something really funny. And there's a lot of like, not really funny stories attached with it, but basically I found that out. Like, if I just recite the ABCs really fast and I got through it for some reason, just specifically 2 times, then usually my hiccups would go away by the time I would get through it. Damn, that was fast. Yeah. It's a lot of training. But yeah, so like I would recite it a lot, and then if I had hiccuped in the middle of saying it, I would have to restart, and I would have to do like a clear run of just like 2 times of that. I would have to get them done like back to back. And then if I hiccuped after, usually that would be the last hiccup, and then there would be no more hiccups. And so I'd tell my siblings that, and so they would try it too. And so it was almost like a funny game where if we would have hiccups, we would try and recite the ABCs like really, really fast and get it back to back twice. And normally within the second one, you would always hiccup and then have to restart. So I don't really know what that, like how that would solve it, but it would solve it for some reason, but it doesn't work anymore. Wow, very impressive. Zoinks, please call the cops. Yeah, it's not that impressive, but I still think it's like a neat little party trick. Like, yeah, look, I can recite it pretty fast. Not the fastest, probably. I'm sure there's faster people out there, but I still think it's pretty fast. You like Takis? I I do, even though I can't handle my spice that much. Don't arrest me. I can't get this right. I do, but okay, so like with all of the hot chips and stuff, any hot chips, I like the taste of them. They taste good. But I have to have like a bottle of water with me, and every time that I eat a chip, I have to like take a sip of the water, because otherwise it hurts my mouth to just eat it and then keep it closed, because then all the heat builds up. So it's just, I like them and I eat them, but usually with that I like drink a whole bottle of water, and once that bottle of water's done, I'm like, okay, no more hot chips, because otherwise it's just it's not gonna be fun, you know? It's just me like eating a chip, enjoying it, and then drinking water so that it doesn't burn my tongue. So yeah, there's that. I do like hot chips, but they're spicy. Who would have thought, right? Hot chips being hot. Right there, maybe? Nah, this doesn't look right. Maybe like this. Ate like 30 popsicles today? Oh, that's probably not good. So when I got one question, weasels. Script blocks, what are you saying? I feel like every time that you come in here, you're like reciting some type of script or something from a video. 30? 30 what? Oh, the popsicles. Is it like the ice cream popsicles, or is it like what are they called? Lollipops. I was gonna say paletas. Oh dang, that is... Were they regular sized or were they like smaller? Because if they're smaller, then like, I mean, I guess. But... Not I guess, but like... It's not... Like, it's probably not that bad if they're really, really teeny tiny, but also who would have really, really teeny tiny popsicles with them? Hopping off, take it easy. You too, hottie thottie, be safe. Oh, what is it? What is it? Enjoy your milk, drink your vegetables, and don't talk to strangers. Just when I thought I memorized it, I no longer have it in my head. Drink your milk, eat your vegetables, stay safe, don't talk to strangers, or at least try and use your best judgment. That's what it is. I don't have it written down, but if I think hard enough, it will come back to me. Which is not something that I can say for a majority of things, but this one is like a very, very small exception. Why ever your child lying? What? Star Plays always gets commands from his grandma and grandpa. The popsicles were huge? Oh my god. What flavor were they? Maybe right there. I like the little like toofs thing. I think they're really cute. But it's like drawing eyebrows sometimes. It's just hard to get it to look right. There we go. Right there, right there. No. Maybe... No. I cannot get this right. I don't like this anymore. I'm way too picky with this. Like how big? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Wait. Wait. There we go. They're like 4, 5, or 6 inches. Oh dang. That's like... Let me see. Let me try and measure. 5 inches. How tall is this pencil? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so they're like... They're not super duper big, but they're not like small. They're not like teeny tiny, like those little like miniature furniture houses, stuff like that. They're not that small. Okay, I had like this weird gut feeling where it's like, the music isn't connected, is it? Even though I listened to it at the beginning of the stream and I was like, no, everything's connected. And that one guy, what do you want, bro? Go. I hit myself accidentally and it hurts, but I can't scream because I'm in my brother's room. Oh my god. What'd you hit yourself on? There we go. Right there. My chin. Oop. Did you accidentally is it like one of those where you have your hand resting on your head resting on your hand and then it slips and then your head goes straight down? The lag. Oh, there's a lag. Ooh, that's no good. Let me check really quick. Okay, it looks like... Okay, good. The connection's normal and stuff, so hopefully that buffs out. Come to the park. Me and others will be there in a minute or two. That does not seem safe. I don't think it is not proper park going time for me, so no, I think I'll have to pass. Got some Jordans for school. Yo, nice. Got the new kicks ready and everything. Do you want me to bring the things, or we should have? What things? I feel like there was a conversation that I missed. Oh my gosh. Nope, that's no good. You know what? I need to get on Genshin at some point and actually get the Kaya skin. I've been putting it off despite saying, oh, I really want to get it. Yes, come as soon as possible. Bruh. How late is it for you? Alright, bye now. What the heck? Be safe at the park. I'm not going though. It is like... It's like 8 or almost 9 for me. Yeah. I was trying to figure it out. Had to read the clock. I have it military time, and usually it's like an easy translation, but sometimes I struggle a little bit. Very well then. No, give me 8:46, 8:47. Ooh. There we go. Nope, not believe him. What if he's a stranger danger? Yeah, no. I'm not going to the park, don't worry. Even if... No, I don't think I would ever just go to the park just because someone's like, hey, go to the park. I am a very meticulous planner, so if somebody's like, hey, I want to go to the park, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, we got to decide a day and a time and how we're gonna get there and what park specifically and what we're gonna be doing at the park, because I don't want to just go there. Because I need activities to keep me busy. Otherwise, I'll get anxiety. Someone that I know? Ah, gotcha. Y'all going to the park together? If so, be sure to be safe. If it's... Well, no, even if it's not dark, there are some crimes still committed in pure daylight, so just be safe. I sneak out at 12 and I stay at the park till 5 a.m. Oh, wait, a.m.? Holy crap, that is super late. I've seen way too many ghost videos where it's like, oh look, it's in just like random parking lots, or oh look, it's at random parks by wooded areas. It's just like, not gonna do that. I mean, yeah, I've gone on like nature walks at night, but that doesn't mean I feel safe during them. So I'm gonna try to avoid them as much as possible, especially at night. Cause like, even if there's not spooky stuff out there and crazy people out there, there's still spiders, and spiders make webs, and it's really hard to see spider webs at night, so I do not frequent outside at night. Hate to leave so soon, but I have to do something with them. Might return by. Yep, be safe. Keep a knife. Yeah, that's unfortunately it's not a bad thing to have. It's, you know, just good to stay safe. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, now I can start coloring the other one. What's the one above it? Oh, okay, yeah, that one I think I already... Did I already import that one? I can't remember. No, I'm good, I'm done with this. Oh, don't worry, we have things. That implication kind of scares me, but Alright, as long as y'all are safe, just, you know, don't be, what is it? Irresponsible. Unresponsible. That feels like it should be a word, but it's not. It just feels slightly off. Bye-bye now. Bye! Alright, let's see. Now time to start coloring. Make sure we're on the right layer before we start. Go and access the color palette, because you want to make something faster. Get stuff ready before then. 8-ball. 8-ball says 9. Oh yeah, you saw the little commands. Yeah, I got the command thing set up. It went through a lot of jerry-rigging, which means it's not technically set up the way it's supposed to be, but it works, so you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. There we go. It's like 8:50 for me? Yeah. That's all I'll say, but yeah. That means it is like almost completely nighttime for you. That's good. Make sure to get good rest. I don't know if I should say specifically at night, because after stream then I gotta go edit, because I put off editing. I was supposed to edit before stream, but you know what I did? I didn't do that. I went and I set up other stuff, which, you know, cool. It was other stuff that I needed to get set up, but it, you know, would have been better if I'd edited before and then worked on the other stuff after, but it's fine. It's fine. Stuff done is stuff done at the end of the day, which means there's less to do at the end of the day, in theory. But I hate editing so much. Oh my god. Me too. My 8:50. You near Texas? It's 2 a.m. God damn. It is late. Script blocks, what are you doing up? Or I should say Star Place. Or no, what I should really be saying is Paprika. What are you doing up so late? Cause you're Paprika. I'm Star Place, remember? Oh man. There we go. And then if I can pog. I was trying to grab it. And then I grabbed it successfully, so then I did a successful pog. You know, the reason that I started saying pog and stuff is because there was this one friend that I had that thought it was really, really funny to get me to say pog. And it wasn't like it wasn't a word that I was aware of before meeting that friend. So, you know, he was just like, oh, say pog, and I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, it's just a word, just say it. And I was like, okay, and pog, and then every time I would say it, he would laugh. And it was like, that was a good thing to me. So I would always say like, oh, that's pog, right? That's pog? He was like, yes, it's pog. And so it was just always really funny. So then my password, oh my god. And so yeah, at first it started off as like just a joke between like that friend group and us, but then I kept saying it, and so now I say it like, what is it, not irregularly, unironically. Yeah, I say it unironically now, which is, I mean, it's fine. I think it's a funny word, so. Does it snow where you're at? Sometimes it does, but usually that's pretty rare. So, you know. We don't tend to have a whole bunch of seasons and stuff. It's just like every now and then we'll get lucky and have a glimpse of what another season would look like. And then it just goes back to heat. All heat, no season. Oh my gosh. Why don't I just... Well, I know why. I was doing it because I was like, oh, I don't want to have to double click here and then click this because that'd be annoying. But like, you know what's even more annoying? Having to fill this by hand. I think the worst part is that there's still gaps in it, but I can't see where the gaps are. So technically I'm supposed to make the entire, like this, how, like the unfilled space, I'm supposed to make that smaller so that I can see the gaps, or at least just kind of go along the gaps so that it fills. but I didn't do that. So now I know that there are gaps there, but I don't know where they are, so I can't really get to them. You live in Texas? Maybe I do. Maybe I live in Arizona, and I'm just using Texas as like, oh, guys, like I totally don't live in Texas. Or maybe I live in Florida, and I'm just like, ooh, guys, look, I live in Texas. Like, don't believe anything you hear on the internet. Even what I say. There's some stuff that you can't believe because it's not true. But I won't say what, because then you would know, and then there's no point in me lying, is there? 8-Ball says you're enough. Oh my god. Let's see. 8-Ball, am I rainbow? 8. Hold on, I'm like typing right now. 8-Ball, am I rainbow? Paprika rainbow confirmed. Let's see. Yes, why? 8-Ball says outlook not so good. Oh no, I'm not rainbow, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not RGB. Oh my god. There we go. Y'all know that one meme where it's like it's like an event or something, and then it shows like nothing bad happening, and then it gets the caption like good ending? Those memes are so funny to me, and they're so lame. Like, they're not really funny by themselves, but I think they're funny because it's just like something that you almost don't expect, because you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, this build up, and it's like like, it's just such a like a lame payoff, and I guess it's that gap in like what you were expecting versus what you get that always like makes me laugh so much, because it's just so funny. It's like, oh my god, it's so lame. Who knows? Oh my god. Who knows? Time to question your identity. Oh my god. Excuse me, what do you say? I don't know. I don't know who you're talking to, Antonio. But I'm assuming it was me, and if so, what part of it? The meme? There we go. Speaking of memes, something really dumb that I did. After I got my first driving lesson, I got home, and it was pretty traumatic. I mean, it wasn't like super duper traumatic, but I was still like, whoa, because they had me drive around the streets and stuff, and that was scary. Like, it wasn't crowded streets. It's not like they made me drive down like freeways and stuff, but they did make me drive around a couple streets, and I was like, but I'm not mentally prepared for driving around streets. And they were like, well, too bad, you're gonna get used to it. And so I did. And there was, you know, a bunch of little errors that I was making because I didn't know how to drive yet. Or I kind of did. Like, textbook wise, I did. But as far as actually doing it, I had no real world experience. So after I got home, I just made a bunch of memes to cope with it. And they were so lame. Or, well, some of them were like genuinely funny, I think. I'm a hack to see where you're at, JK. Good, I might have to ban you. Sources say yes. Oh my god. Whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, but some of them were like, so like I used to get really close to the curbs and stuff, specifically on my, I think my right side. Yeah, I think it was always my right side that I would get too close to. And whenever I would drive with my dad, he'd be like, don't get too close to the curb, you know, leave the curb alone. Specifically, he would say like, leave the curb alone. And I didn't know how to center the car yet. And so I was like, but I'm not even that close to it. Like, I'm in the middle of the road. I just don't want to get too close to the other side. And he's like, no, you have plenty of room. And so we would always like, not argue really, but you know, there was a little bit of back and forth of like, no, you're not in the center of the road. But I could see the car right there. I'm way too close. And it's like, no, just scoot a little bit. You're gonna hit the curb. And so it's dumb memes like my dad telling me to leave the curb alone, and then me trying to figure out where the curb is or something. I was like, Stream Elements. Never. Damn, look at that. You can't get the same girl that Stream Elements can. Damn. Oh my gosh. There we go. Let's go back to this one and then scroll up. It's 2 up. There we go. Nope, I messed up. There we go. Nope. Wait, what? Why did it feel like that? Huh. That was weird. It filled with like an overlay over it, so I was like, wait, why is it overlaying? But no, the opacity is right, so I don't know why it did that. Oh my gosh. The 8-ball has gained sentience. There we go. Go ahead and fill that. And then... there we go. There we go. And go ahead and fill this in. I just remembered what I had to do after I get off stream. It's not hard work. I shouldn't be complaining. But it is hard work because I gotta sit at the desk for so long and listen to myself talk. Which, like, that's not the hard part. The hard part is figuring out what to cut out and then how to make it, like, visually interesting. Which is really hard to do because there's, like, not every story is made of gold, unfortunately. So it's really hard to, like, sometimes I'll start working on something and I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is not a great story. It's just like lame, or it's not that funny. But at that point, I'm like, well, it's already halfway edited, so might as well still put it out and stuff. How old is you? I am not allowed to say. There we go. Fill that in. Yesterday would have been a yes, but today it's a yip. Yeah, I think it's that one. Get this filled in. You know, so a while back now, I went to my public local zoo. And I went with a friend of mine. And we were watching these, like, I forget what animal it was, but we were watching them, and there were birds, because it had like a little roof thing, and so we sat down, and specifically for that day I was like, oh, let's bring sketchbooks and we'll sketch the animals. And so we did, and that's what we were doing. And the birds that were like sitting like between the roof and the actual supports for the like little awning thing that we were under, there were little birds, and then, you know, it was like a public bathroom for them, and so I got shit on. Luckily it was just like on my clothes, so it was an easy wipe, but still. I was like, I literally looked up whenever I first sat down and I'm like, man, I hope I don't get bird poop on me. And then that. And like, yeah, it was like a white dress that I wore, but it wasn't that hard to clean, so honestly, like, I got lucky. It didn't leave a stain or anything. I thought it was gonna leave a stain, but it didn't, so I got lucky. Oh my god, Scriptblock, stop bullying stream elements. Just having fun over there. There we go. Speaking of fun, I had a teacher. Actually, I had several teachers now that I think about it. There's always like one teacher from every school that I went to that was like, oh, you're laughing and you're enjoying it. And he would literally say it like this, like, oh, you're laughing and you're enjoying the class? That's not allowed. You're not allowed to have fun in this class. And he would say it jokingly, you know, would always like laugh, like, ha ha ha, look, isn't this so funny, you know, I'm trying to tell y'all to quiet down, but I'm like laughing because I'm saying that you can't have fun, but you are allowed to have fun. Like, that was essentially the joke, but it wasn't like a very good joke. It was just like, ha ha ha, okay, we get it, we'll be more quiet, you know? But, like, why why were there so many of them? It's like that meme where it's like, if I had a nickel for every time a teacher was like, you're not allowed to have fun in my class, and say it like it's a joke, then I'd have like 5 nickels, which isn't a whole lot, but it's weird that it happened multiple times. This one... I don't know why, I just got reminded of this series that I read, and I don't remember the name of it. And I don't remember much about it, other than it was like a romance series. And I don't remember what specifically goes on down, but I remember the ending, and I remember the ending because it was so wild. So what happened was that there was this like couple, right? And for like whatever reason, one of the protagonists had like this ex that they just like they could not get back with because they were like so mean. And so the entire story kind of follows the main character getting along with this other character, and then at the end, like, the ex starts being like, oh no, I want you to get back with me, I did that because I didn't really understand, and so now I do, so please get back with me. And he was like really like mean. Like almost unaware, you know, like oh no, I didn't mean it like that. Like, no, you did that, that's not a good thing to do. And so at the end of the series, the main character ends up with no one because the ex and then like the main love interest are like fighting for essentially the main character's love, but it's not like an actual, oh, you know, duel me and then but like, no, it was just it was literally just like, oh, they have a knife, and then they fought, and then it ended with like the ex being stabbed. And I don't remember if he like lived or not. I think he did. He just like went to the hospital. But after that, the main character's love interest was like, oh, I can no longer be with you anymore because, you know, I've done that, and like I'd understand if you left me. And then the main character was like, okay, I'm glad you understand. And then he just like leaves him. And that's how it ends. Like the main character doesn't end up with anybody. Which is like such a wild ending. I never read like a romance novel where they don't end up with someone, because I don't know, it feels like it was one of those stories that not even the author really knew where they were leading the story until the very end, and they were like, well, I see no way to really fix this, so it is what it is. What was this anime manga drama? It was a manga or a manhwa, I can't remember. It might have been a manhwa, but I don't remember what the name was. I don't remember the character names. All I remember is how it ended, and the fact that like the ex got stabbed, and then the main character was like, because I stabbed someone, we can't be together because this is not a good thing to do. Which, you know, good on him for recognizing that it's not a good thing to do. But it's just like like, what? Who was like, yeah, this is a great idea, let's have them stab, and then just like, oh, I can't be with you anymore because I've done this and I'm a criminal. But he didn't get arrested for it. It was done in self-defense because the other one had come at him first with a knife. But yeah, no, it's just it's weird. Now I wonder if I'll ever be able to find that series again, because I don't know enough to really like, oh, this, you know, like, oh, this is a specific thing. But I hope one day, like, I just remember it and I'm able to find it again. With like a manhwa, which feels like a Korean drama plot. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Oh my god. But yeah. You know, there was actually one time that... Okay, so there's this one series that I can't say too much about because it's like not hard to find. It's not a mainstream one. It's just like, if I say too much about the plot, it'll reveal too much. But also welcome in, Phyllis. I don't think I said that. But so okay, it was a romance series that I really enjoyed reading, and I thought about it one night and I was like, oh, I really want to read it. Let me just go read through the first chapter again. I love it so much. But I couldn't remember the name. But I thought that I'd saved it to my library on an app that I have. So I searched through my library and it's not there. I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, but you know, it should be somewhere, right? And so I keep looking and I don't find it. I'm like, okay, well, I just gotta look it up again, and I just gotta remember the name. What's the name? And I can't remember the name, you know, and that's not that big of a surprise. But then I'm like, wait, I think it had like this word in it. And so I started looking for like a bunch of different like just, oh, this word but in this language, or oh, how about like this, or how about in English, or how about not in English, you know. I'm like searching through like every means that I can think of, and I can't get it to pop up, and I'm like, oh my god, have I finally lost my favorite series just because I can't remember the name of it. And then I remembered this one specific plot point, and I'll tell you the plot point because it's hard to know like what series it is without knowing what type of series it is. That's the exact reason I document what I read and watch online now, because it's like having a memory diary. Ah, that's smart. I used to have one with I think it was like watch anime, my anime list or something like that, right? One of those like big things, but I couldn't keep up with it because it's a hassle, like having to pull it up on the computer or on your phone, which it has like bad UI for, and then get it updated. So I gave up on it. I think it's like my anime list or something. But yeah, the only thing that I remembered about it, or like the main plot point that I remembered, was that one of the love interests was a hybrid. And so I was like, what's that one series where like these people like each other and these other plot points, and then it turns out he's a hybrid? And Reddit came in clutch, and they were like, oh, has anyone read this series with this and that? And I'm like, oh, that's the series. And so I look it up, and sure enough, it is the series. And so I was able to find it through that. But for a split second I got scared, and I was like, no, I've lost it, my favorite series. But yeah, it was fun to remember. Will you be there for me if I'm going through something? Outlook good. Yo! Without a doubt. No. Oh my god. Okay. Go ahead and fill this in. There we go. Oh. Let me change the background color because I can't see enough with this. There we go. Yeah, so there's a bunch of gaps there. I don't know what it is about gray, but if it's not like colored enough, then I can't actually see anything with the colors. There we go. Oh my god, script block, stop breaking my bots. Don't bet on it. He lives. The bot lives. I wonder if with the copy pasta of the like exclamation point 8 ball, if it still like activates and stuff. Because it looks like there's like a pretty long queue of it, which would not be good. Wait, let's see if there actually is a queue. Exclamation point 8 ball, and we'll just put the letter Q and see when it responds to me, and that'll show the queue. Oh, okay, it's not that long. 8 ball says the heaven pots to yes. The heaven points to yes. I can't read. He might be dead. Nah, maybe it's just like ignoring him. Or maybe it's like, maybe it has individual queues based on users, which that would make a little bit of sense. There we go. Wait, it's not supposed to go like that. There we go. Will my bird be happy? Forget about it. No, not the burb. Oh no. Poor burb. Oh my gosh. Fill that. Oh. There we go. Then I just gotta wait. I won't follow the line art. You know, I think the great thing about the friend group that I have is that we have such similar tastes, but we don't tend to bring up what we're reading a lot to each other. And so sometimes there'll just be like a series that I'm so obsessed with, and I'll be like, hey, so by any chance have y'all heard of this series where this and this happens, or where it's called this and this and that? And they'll be like, oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about, and it turns out we're like reading the same series. Oh my god, it's a great feeling. It's happened like multiple times now. I think the last one was what is it called? I can't remember. Can't remember, but it's like one of those reincarnation ones, I think. Ah, it's where the main character is like living a good life, but then, oh, I remember now. It's called My In-Laws Are Obsessed With Me. Oh my god, that one. I love that one so much. Script blocks here. You're gonna mess up the bot. Stop before I have to time you out. The poor bot's trying its best. Leave it alone. There we go. This one. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Go ahead and fill this in. Did any of y'all ever have a pet rock? Because I never did. But I want to hear. What was it like? What was it like imagining that you had a pet? My in-laws are obsessed with me sounds familiar. Okay, so basically, right, what it is that you got this main character, and so she has a boyfriend, and she has a loving sister, or a stepsister, a loving stepsister, and a loving stepmother, right? And then, you know, life is going great, and then her family kills her because her dad was super rich, but he left the inheritance to her. And so when she died, the inheritance went over to them, and she wasn't even like, she didn't care that she was rich. She just wanted, you know, to have like a normal family, and then they killed her. So she gets brought back to life, and she's like, okay, that was really mean. I'm gonna make sure that I don't die this time. And she marries this, like, not really evil count. It's just this, like, I think it's like a duke or something that's really powerful and everyone is scared of. And she's like, look, from what I know, because she essentially goes back in time after she gets brought back to life. And so she's like, so from what I know, you're gonna kind of be forced to marry this, like, this person that you don't want to marry. So in order to avoid that, let's get married. It'll be like a mutually beneficial relationship. And yeah, they end up getting married because of mutual benefits, and then it's just that. I like reading manhwa, but I'm sad that it's hard to find it sometimes. Being updated while manhwa is like full of power fantasy of being stronger while being an underdog. For real, there's a lot of like leveling and stuff ones. But like the romance ones are always really cute. Not all of them. Some of them I get into and I'm like, this ain't it. This ain't what I signed up for originally, and then I have to just like go and find another series. But there's like a decent amount of like, I was reborn as this, or like, oh, this is my life as this, or oh, I'm the villain this time, and stuff like that. And it's a cheesy series. It's a cheesy one, but I really enjoy series like that, especially the ones where it's like, I was born as like the daughter of this or something, where it just shows like a bunch of families and they're like, oh man, I really, really adore my daughter. Oh man, my siblings they're like crazy because they're all like super protective. It's cheesy, but I love it. Manhwa romance just hits, right? For real. Script blocks, leave the 8-ball alone. Oh my god. Go. Hello, thank you for streaming. I needed something to watch as I was doing notes. Oh, Pog. Welcome in, Gray. Had to read it. I was about to read hello as your username. But yeah, I'm just drawing, just general normal vibes. Thank you for popping in. About to say thank you for popping off. Oh, there we go. And then like this. Fill that in. What's today? Wednesday? Oh, tomorrow's Thursday. That's crazy. I'm somehow never prepared for like any day change. Like any change in time. I'm like, oh, it's a different day than before. What do you mean every time I sleep the day changes? And sometimes that thought like kind of messes with my time perception, because I'm like, oh, well then if I don't sleep, then the time won't change, right? No, time keeps going. That's what sucks. I do one task and time will continue going. If I don't do another task, time will continue going. And so time passes without me without me really following it, which is rough. There we go. Let's just fill this. There we go. Time freezes when you sleep. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, script blocks just got rejected by Stream Elements. RIP. There we go. That's why I never get sleep. What? Yeah, it's just cause time's freezing because I'm not sleeping. The latter time's not freezing because I was about to say you're not freezing. But that makes sense, right? If you're not frozen, then how's time supposed to... I think... I don't know what I need, but I need to wake up a little more. To wake up! You need to wake up! You're asleep! Wake up! You're trapped in a dream! There's some existential crisis for the day, guys. Oh my god. That'd be funny. You know, very rarely, right? And I don't believe that I'm trapped in a dream. But there have been times where I swear I hear like a heart monitor. And so I'm scared that one day I'll wake up to realize that I was in a coma or something. Because what do I do then? Like, what world am I going to wake up to? What type of things have I imagined where it's just like, can you imagine if that were real? And then it turns out it's real. And the reason that I imagined it was because it's an actual thing from my waking world, but I don't know I'm asleep. I was just so far down in a coma that I don't know. Like, it's a fear that I have. A very irrational fear. And I'm not like actively like, oh man, I could wake up at any moment. But it's just like, what if, you know? If you have a bad time, sleeping time freezes. If you're having a good dream, it accelerates. Not for real, for real. Is there any free tea while we chill? So what if I just sleep and I don't want tea? Let me see what I can do. Give me 1 second. Actually, hold on. I do art. What am I doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing art. Doing art, baby. Alright, I don't really know how to draw. I don't really know how to draw. No, but I don't really know how to draw tea, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a cup. If I can draw like a decent cup, that'll be great. Nope. There we go. Make this opening wider. This is like the most scuffed cup I've ever made, but it's okay. I say as I'm about to like fix it so that it looks better. There we go. The only critic that you actually have to impress is yourself. And that is hella difficult, so good luck doing that. There we go. You got tea, huh? There was an anime about an angel helping someone fulfill their dreams, and fast forward, his friend died, and the friend wakes up into a pod. Now he's an immortal angel? Oh my god. What's that called? I don't think I've ever heard of that one before. There we go. A tea with corals? Oh my god. What do you think coral tastes like? Does it taste like rock? Isn't coral like a living being? So eating coral wouldn't be vegan, would it? I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it's a thought that came into my head and thus came out of my lips. ahead and do this. There we go. All I need to go do notes. I'm just gonna listen out. Yep, no worries. They made it so that you can live as a human and experience temporary life because being immortal is boring. Ah, that makes sense. That would kind of suck though. Can you imagine going through multiple lives? Reincarnation is scary. Like honestly, the ending. You know what? Let me not talk about this. This is too much. This is too much existentialism for me. I have to stop at some point because otherwise it's not healthy for the brain to worry about stuff too much that we have no control over. Well, I need to go to sleep. Good night, my best friend. Sweet dreams. Hope you dream of me as Hero Price. Okay, be safe, Antonio. Have a good rest. There we go. There's y'all's tea. It didn't tell me what kind, so I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. But there's your tea. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I need to color the rest of the hair. Herobrine noises. Oh my gosh. Go ahead and fill this in. There we go. I'm gonna ask like a really dumb question here, right? But why do y'all think math was invented? Because obviously it solves a lot of problems now, right? It's used as like to help regulate currency, it's used to help predict things and like make things possible. And it really is something that affects everything, like even in like further in-depth art stuff, you still need math and stuff like RGB, you know, there's a certain percentage of red, green, and blue. And so like math is really everywhere. But like, what problem do you think it first solved, I guess? Like, who was like, oh, I don't know how much I need of this, or like how many of this, so like what should I do? What problem should I solve? Oh, I know what to do. If only I could keep like a tabulated count of something. Then, you know, I'll be honest, the worst part about reincarnation stories, okay, isekai animes, is that you don't see how the story ends. That's why I love reading now. True, they don't finish getting animated, so then you just gotta read the actual source material, which is a smart person, I don't know. Yeah, I feel you. It's probably like one of those open-ended questions where it's like it's one of those where the answer doesn't matter. Because honestly, we don't know what it could possibly be used for. Because like, Okay, I just came to a crossroad at my thoughts because I was gonna be like, oh, well, what about speech? Isn't it the same thing? There was like something that needed to be solved, and like we needed a way to refer to things as certain things, and that's why we created language and such, right? Well, why didn't, you know, just like pointing and gesturing, you know, well, then again, like you're not always next to that, so there's also that. But also people who can't see very well, you know, like then you'd have to like take them specifically there, so I guess that works too. Ugh. My brain's thinking too much. That's too much thought. Too much thought. The one closest to be done at the moment is Mushokoku Tensei, which is nice because the animation is top tier. Isn't that, that sounds so familiar. But I think I'm thinking of the one where it's like the person that's going around like solving stuff, like white-haired guy. No, it's not. Wait a minute. I've seen the cover of that before. Whoa, but I've never actually watched this one. Oh, I need to read it then. I'm gonna do my papers while taking the tea that you made. Good luck with the art and have a peaceful night day, everyone. Yep, enjoy, be safe, Mr. Cat. Was it drink your milk, eat your vegetables, and stay safe. Don't talk to strangers, or at least try and use your best judgment. There it goes, look at that. Rolled off the tongue. That's what I'm doing, have a good one. Hope y'all get a good grade on whatever y'all are doing, if it's for a grade. Because what if y'all are just doing it for fun? Which, like, imagine. Right here. Fill this in. There we go. Fill that in. Pull this up. Not really pulling if you're just, like, applying stuff, huh? See, like, sometimes I wonder if I'm pressing my pen too hard, but in order to get thicker lines, you know, it's pressure sensitive, so in order to get thicker lines, you gotta push harder. So whenever I want to fill more, obviously I'm gonna push harder. And so it's just like, there's not really a way to not push hard without being inefficient, you know? There we go. I'm back. Welcome back. I told you to stop messing with the 8-ball, man. I gotta bring the hammer down when I say I'm gonna. I'm doing art papers about every single muscle. Save it. It's taking too much time, but it's worth it. Oh my god. Is it like anatomy study? Good luck on that. I started a couple of anatomy studies, but they were never for a grade. So, never finished them. There we go. 8-ball. 9. What the heck? There we go. Bop, bop. Bop. I think the weirdest manga that I ever read was one where it's like, it's that trope where, oh, you know, it's like a character, but they're actually like not liked by where they came from. And so it was this princess, and because she had red hair, everybody was like, oh, you have red hair, that's gross. And so they didn't like her. And so then they married her off to this other, like, royal family that was known for being like, oh, they're scary and mean, and we think they, like, hurt people, and they're not very nice, so we're gonna make you marry them. And so they sent her off to marry there, and then she goes, and then she was like, she's that, like, classic, oh, no one's gonna, like, which I respect, I like the type of character, where they're like, oh, like, I don't care what you say, I'm still gonna, like, do my own thing. And so she did, and she didn't really, like, lose her fighting spirit, but eventually, like, the love interest, like, oh, I respect that, actually. And then they started liking each other, but then there was a servant that came with her who had always been her friend, and so she was like, oh, actually, I kind of have feelings for this one, too. And so she was like, oh, which ones do I actually have feelings for? And then whenever she confesses to, like, the one, like, the servant that came with her, he was like, no. And then he just leaves.
My people! Katie
oh, thank you for subscribing. Oh, that scared me. Oh my god. But he just left. And then she, like, ends up getting with the other one, and then years later is when they finally bring up the character. And I don't mean like in actual time, like for them, they end up together, and then there's like a chapter jump. Well, not a chapter jump, but like they're like, oh, 7 years later or something. And then she gets a letter, and it's from the servant that was with her. He's like, hey, so actually, it turns out that I was a hybrid of like these races or whatever, and like nobody really liked me. Sup, welcome in, Katie. Minecraft server has been set up. Yo! The face. What calls it? But yeah, they get a letter, and it was like, so I'm actually a hybrid, and that's why, like, I was put as a servant. But actually, I think they were half siblings, or no, they were full siblings. But she had the recessive gene for, like, the showings of a hybrid, and the reason that her main family didn't like her was because of, like, they knew that she was a hybrid. And so, with that being revealed, he was like, yeah, so we're actually siblings, so that's why I didn't like you. I treasure you as a sibling, like, as a sister. And then he, like, never comes back. And it's just, like, crazy. Because it wasn't something that I was expecting, you know? And like, I mean, I'm glad they didn't they didn't do anything dumb with it, but it's just it felt like a turn that even the author didn't really prepare for. But also when you go back to the first couple chapters, it does kind of lay the groundwork for that type of relationship. If you look at it from his point of view, then like everything that he does makes sense. And so it's crazy to like, did they really have that all figured out? I am drawing an emote for this server because I'm still I still have a couple that I need to do. I've just been putting them off. There we go. Oh my gosh, I have a cramp. Help this torture. Ooh, yikes. Get a warm cover and you just like hold on to it. That's usually what I do. I just like cover my bottom half with a cover. That or warm up a water bottle. And that helps, just holding it. Or having like a heat pad. Those are lifesavers. I'm going back to building spawn the server now. Nice. Let me know when that's finished. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Go ahead and get this. Fill this in. Oops. There we go. And let me get that pink color again because I missed a spot there. Grab the hair color again. Wait, that's not it. It might be the same color as the other one, but just in case. Just in case. There we go. Fill that in. Oh yeah, so there's this thing that I'm working on, right? Eventually, I'll have something kind of similar to channel points and stuff set up. If I can get things figured out. Because technology is a little finicky. And the systems that I gotta use, they're not like, it's not one of those just plug and play things. Like Stream Elements, baby stuff in comparison to what I'm doing right now. And even this isn't the like hardest thing because I'm not setting it up from scratch. It's like a pre-made system, so obviously it's supposed, or it is somewhat user-friendly, but it's kind of hard to get set up. Welcome in, Gas with Grass. I'm finished building a redstone plane made out of diamonds. Oh wow, that is, I think, a lot of resources. Jeez. But yeah, now I gotta get all the stuff set up to it. I have most of the things linked. All I need to do is get the last thing linked so that it reads that I bought the proper software. And then hopefully it'll be set up at some point. But best case scenario, it gets set up by next week, so it's not anything like tomorrow, but someday. What are we talking about? I was going off on a mini rant. Not really a mini rant, but I was just saying that I'm working on eventually getting stuff like channel points set up. Because did you know there's a way to do that? Not really on YouTube, it's like through external software. I don't know why I say it like that, but I guess the name technically wouldn't really matter. But it's through Streamlabs and stuff, and I think it's called Touch Portal. That's what it's called. And so yeah, through that I'll be able to get something similar to that. And so I was having fun earlier today kind of brainstorming what type of redeems I should have. And let me tell you, it was a little bit difficult coming up with them because I'm like, well, I don't want anything like too big, and like a lot of the stuff that most... Okay, so the thing is with VTubers, right? VTuber redeems are usually made in like the assumption that you have a 2D model. Nice drawing you have there. Oh, thank you. I'm trying my best. But most VTubers are 2D, unfortunately. And so there's like the few stuff that is available for 3D, it's usually for Twitch, because Twitch is usually the thing that, usually the only platform that allows this. This is one of those where like, well, since you like that, we actually brought it over. But this was more of a passion project than it is the actual like YouTube being like, hey, here's a thing to compete with that. And so yeah, there's not a lot of options in terms of redeems, because when you don't look at the the VTuber redeems and stuff, then you look at the normal ones, it's stuff like change the camera position, or activate an overlay thing, or make me put on a hat or something, which, you know, like, I mean, it can be done, but it requires its own setup for something like me. Well, technically I could, and I have a couple. I'm not gonna say what, but there are some where it's like you can not really physically change my, not physically change my appearance, but change the appearance of my model. But it's nothing too exciting like some of the other ones that I've seen. But it's really interesting what they've done. They've gotten like really creative with some of the redeems. But yeah, eventually I'll get that set up. Because a one-man band is cool until you realize everything takes time. And the stuff that you don't spend time on for that week, it has to get done next week. And the stuff that you do get done, if you don't get it completely done by the end of the week, then it gets put in the queue again. And it's just, it's not great. I know you're trying your best, you're working hard on the drawing. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Did I use the right color there? Yeah, I did. There we go. Oh wait, it's supposed to be that one. Is this the right color? Yeah, it is. Why don't we do that? There we go. I could always learn this stuff and help if you need. Honestly, I might at some point, because there are some stuff where it's like I don't know what I'm doing, and then not really get frustrated, but I do get like, okay, I need to take a step back, and I don't want to just like not work on stuff because then that wastes too much time. So let me go and complete another task, or at least try to. So maybe. There we go. Forward that. Add this. There we go. But it's always good to have extra help. Yeah, for real, for real. And plus, you've been around a pretty good while. I feel like you've earned it. There we go. Let's just fill this with yellow. What does yellow remind you of? Because the only thing I can think of is banana and lemon. And maybe papaya, but I think that's more orange than yellow. What else is yellow? Ooh, there's like yellow snakes and stuff. Those exist. Honestly, I might go get some sleep, maybe. Have a good night. Have a good night, Gray. Enjoy your night. Drink your milk, eat your vegetables, stay safe, don't talk to strangers, or at least try to use your best judgment. I guess that. I will say I'm getting better at that, but I'm not. I'm just remembering every now and then. You too. Some chips are yellow. Ah, that's true. Regular potato chips. They tend to be yellow. Let's go ahead and add above. Oop. There we go. We could turn on the filter thing. Not the filter, but the clipping mask. And then add some of this. I don't know if that really looks okay. It doesn't. We do clip layer. Okay, good. You know what? I'm gonna try and draw something. Yo, Pog. You've been touched by the art goblin. Congrats. Now you want to draw something. I really do be like that though. Anytime I watch any art streamers, I'm like, oh, now I want to draw. But usually I watch them whenever I'm like editing or something, so I'm like, but I can't. I can't do it. I can't tell what I want to do with this. Not yet, at least. What can I draw? Hi, Paprika, how are you? Welcome in, Godzilla. I'm good. How are you? You could draw... You could draw your favorite animal. Or, because I know sometimes you can have favorite animals, but not be good at drawing animals. You could draw like your favorite flower or something. Or you could practice drawing hands. Those are always hard, so it's always good to practice those. There we go. Get this filled in. Nope. Still doesn't look good. Actually, what am I doing? I can just click and clear. I might just leave it as is. Or no, I should definitely make it brighter. Should I? I'm gonna leave it and come back to it because I can't decide what I want to do just yet. You draw a bird drinking some diesel out of a Capri Sun? Oh my god. I'm doing good, how about yourself? Or I'm doing okay, how about yourself? You know, I've been pretty good, a little tired, need to start eating better because I'm starting to forget that I need to eat. I need to follow my schedules more better, not love this, yo. I was like 4 people, now 5 because of me. There we go. And then I don't know what to draw. Ooh, gotta set up correctly. You could draw a calendar or a pen or an iPad or SpongeBob or I don't know. I don't know what else. An apple. Drawing is hard. It is. It is. Could say that with full experience. It is. Stitch. Ooh yeah. Wait, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, or you got stitches? Because in which case, I hope you heal soon. Sitting on my knees, it hurts. Yikes! I'm sitting like not crisscross applesauce. I think I just broke tracking with that. Yeah, a little bit. It's like if I were to squat, but then like I actually sit on the ground, but my feet are also still touching the ground. I sometimes do that. Yeah. It's probably not great for actual posture and stuff, but it's comfy. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. You can draw Stitch. Oh, Stitch is adorable. Ah, that scene where like he leaves.
My people! Amy _15 subscribe.
Thank you for subscribing. Oh my god, I'm still never used to that. There we go. Oh, I need to fix that little gap right there. But yeah, that part where he's like the duckling scene. The duckling scene. I can't. I just remembered it like full clarity. Oh, and then he's like, my family, and then he goes and he's just lost. Oh. Oh. Okay, I need to stop thinking about that before I cry or something. Which is weird because like I don't normally cry during that movie, but I don't know why. Just the thought of that right now made me emotional. Stitch talks. Yeah. Yeah, he does. He's so cute. There we go. Bop. Bop. There we go. Add that. There we go. Could it be better? Yes. But could it be worse? Also yes. So if it can be worse, then I consider it a win because it's not worse. Go. Add this. Oh. Got a Stitch from Build-A-Bear? Yo. You know, growing up, I never got a Build-A-Bear, right? And so I kind of made like a promise to myself, like one day I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy myself a Build-A-Bear bear because I get it, you know, like we couldn't afford it. So whenever I start earning money, that's what I'm gonna do. And I still haven't because the last time that I checked, because there was like a promotion or something that came out and they were like, oh, actually we got like these new animals in stock, and I saw them and I'm like, oh, they're so cute, I'm gonna go buy one because I don't want to like buy one if I don't actually want it because that's a waste of money, right? I wonder what Stitch would taste like. Don't say that. Oh my god. But so I was like, oh, I only want to get one if, you know, it's like one that I genuinely want. And so I saw an animal that I wanted, and I went to go check it, and it was like 40 something dollars. I think it was like, I don't remember how much exactly, and then that's like not including a lot of the stuff that I wanted to add to it, so I'm like, no. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. And so it's almost sad. I've done like this full circle of like, oh, like I'm a child and I want one, but I can't have one because my parents say no. Oh, I'm like not completely old enough to like continue or to be earning my own money. But whenever I do get old enough, that's whenever I'll buy myself one, and then I'll have no one to say no. And then now I'm the one saying no to myself, being like, no, that's too much money. We're not gonna spend that much. No, it's just a plush toy, and it's not even that great of a one. There's cuter ones online for cheaper, so no, we're not gonna do that. How about you, Build-A-Bear? Joe, kind of spending all that on a bear? For real? They're expensive. I appreciate the thought, but yeah, no. No. Oh my god. As much as it saddens me to say that, like even the franchise ones, I think even more so, because they like the ones that they have done franchises of, I've never really liked how they did it. They always look like too like stiff, you know, they're not cute enough. And so yeah, true, there are cuter ones. There's a bunch of creators that I've seen that they've made their like own original plushie. There's this one plush that I have that it's like a it's actually a funny story attached to it. So I was at a convention with a friend, and then we passed by this vendor, and they had these like cute little white and red plush foxes, and they had like bells on them, and they were so cute. And so I was like, oh my god, I want one. And we passed by it like 3 times because I have this habit. They always botch up the collabs. For real! It sucks because like they should be really, really cute. Some of the people that they collab with is like, oh, surely these are gonna be adorable. I mean, I love this character, and then they do it, and it's just like, it's like a not that great attempt. It's not something that you'd expect from something that was that expensive. He's 5 days old. Yo, happy birthday to him, 5 days. Oh my god. Well, I guess it's not birthday if it's not the day that he was born on, huh? But, you know, like, happy 5 days. But I have this habit whenever I go to conventions that I won't really say, like, oh, I want to check out this table and stuff until we've passed by it, like, 3 times. Because I have to work up the courage to actually be like, hey, do you mind if I go check this out? Even though I could really just, like, walk away from the people that I go with and go and do it, but like, I don't know, I'm always like, oh, we should stick in a group. And I don't really say that. I just like stay by the group the entire time. I guess I'm just like used to, I think I'm on the wrong layer. No, I'm not. Pog. I think I'm just used to like shopping around with my mom and stuff, and I'm used to her getting mad whenever I would wander off and be like, you're not supposed to wander off like that. What if someone kidnaps you? Oh, baby. Yeah. But yeah, so it was like a box of these little white foxes, and so I wanted one, so I went up and I was like, hey, how much are they? And I think they were like 20 or 30 something. Like, they weren't that much in comparison to what some of the other plushies that I've seen sold for. Like, sometimes they're like around $50-$60, and it was not that, like, it was a decent sized plushie. It was like a little bit bigger than the size of an iPad. So like normally those go for around $50 because they're like unique ones, you know, they're not mass produced and stuff. It wasn't handmade, but like still, because it was unique, usually they sell them for more, and I get it, but like, oof, that's expensive. So I liked it enough and I bought it, but at that time I didn't play Genshin, but my friend did. And so the person was cosplaying Zhongli. And so she kind of joked around with the seller that like, oh my god, she's stealing your kid. And so the joke kind of ended with, oh, I stole Zhongli's child. Which, like, it's lame. And it's even funnier now that I do play Genshin. And so it's like, I have Zhongli's child. Surprise me, they can say full sentences. Oh my god, I'm back. I couldn't sleep, save me. Oh my god. Close your eyes and lay there for like 20 minutes. If you don't fall asleep from then, then do something that'll tire yourself out, such as if you're able to go and, you know, not take a walk outside, but just like walk around your room or go read a book. And if you don't have anything that you can't, like, if you can't get out of bed without making noise, be on your phone for a little bit and wait till your eyes get tired enough. But don't read anything interesting. Go read like a news article or something that you won't be interested in, and then you'll fall asleep. $50 for a plushie? Yeah, it can be like pretty pricey. I'm making something right now. Yo, what are you making? I forgot that I was drawing. Somebody said that, I was like, wait a minute, and aren't I drawing? I wouldn't have played Genshin then. I probably will never. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. There's definitely some fun stuff to it, but it's a gacha game. It's a gacha game. So just know a majority of the gameplay is just like saving up for the cool character that's coming out, getting the character, and then saving up for the next character. So yeah. Yeah, studying art makes me so tired. I'm doing it right now. Thanks. Yeah, I feel you. One time whenever I was like really little, I was doing homework, and I think it was like math homework or something. And I love gacha. Gacha is fun, but like this happens repeatedly to me. I play it and I love it so much, and I'm so loyal to it, and then one day I'm just like, this is tiring, I'm gonna not do it. And then I don't. And then I drop it and I never play it again. It hasn't happened yet with Genshin. But, you know, patterns, they exist. And, you know, eventually all things come to an end. It's not just the money or in-game money thing that turns me off. It's mostly the fan base that can turn me off from it. I feel you there. Yeah. I'm not good at getting involved with fandoms and stuff, just because I don't know how it works. Like, they're online and they talk about their interests, and then they just become part of the fandom, and then they know what's going on. Like, I don't know, there's always been a disconnect between me and actually keeping up with fandoms and stuff. And so I never know what's going on until somebody's like, oh, did you know, like, did you hear about this? Or, oh, what do you think about this? And I'm like, what? Like, oh yeah, it's a controversy, like, you like this series, don't you? I'm like, yeah. Well, then what do you think about this? I didn't know there was a controversy about it. And so, yeah, not the best in terms of keeping up with the gossip, to be honest. Depends on the cringe OCs. Let's take a minute for Gray. Yeah, I gotta get that man to sleep, or gotta get that person to sleep, I don't know. Depends on the cringe OCs kill me, but some people are really talented. Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on like where you go. Usually all the art that I see, because I was thinking of like a spider sonas when you said that. I think it's just because, like, I mean, I mainly go on Twitter for art. And there's usually like really talented people, so I'm never really disappointed whenever I find art of it, because it's always like pretty well made. The artists that I follow usually do really good jobs, because, you know, they be good at art. They do good art, and that's why I follow. And then Twitter now only shows me kind of the people that I follow, so I guess I kind of technically have a based perspective there. Can't even draw a full face. Mood. I can't draw a like head-on face without it feeling like it looks weird. Actually, I can't draw anything now that I have to really think about it, because like from the side it's hard to draw, because like head-on face I guess kind of looks like this, but even this is technically at an angle because they're not looking directly at you. If I were to do it in a third dimensional shape, that's kind of what we're looking at, because this is like technically the side of the face which is still exposed. And so like a full front-on would look like, I don't know, I just always do it naturally to the side, so it would be something like that. And then like you gotta actually like fill it in and stuff, and I don't know, it just always looks weird for me. That, and then direct profile views like that in 3D would look like this, and then this is the implied face, right? that's what it would be. But then this is the side of the face. So you would maybe see like the back of the head, and that would be about it. So like in order to actually show the profile, you're supposed to like do that and then add like the lips and stuff, but I can never add it without it looking really weird. So I suck at profile views, so I feel you there. Gotta go to bed soon? Yep, I... What is it? Be safe, drink your milk, eat your vegetables, don't talk to strangers, and try and use your best judgment. No, or try and use your best judgment. Man, just when I think I got this, I can just repeat it off the tip of my tongue. Nope. Upward covers the neck of the mouth becomes smaller, and then the closet gets closest gets larger, but the side will show the jawline, the bones along the muscle. I love My Hero Academia. Gotcha. What? They have a gotcha game? I was not aware of that. There we go. Oh wow. Wait, what time is stream supposed to end? I don't remember. Let's see. Click here. What's today? Wednesday? Oh, it's 10. I don't know why in my head I was like, oh, after 10 the stream ends, as in there was more time after 10. Alright. So I didn't really get as far as I would have liked to. I completed one of them and then I started the other one. So, yeah, could be worse. I could have not completed anything. So, yeah, could be worse. Well, technically I didn't come. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, with that, let me go ahead and swap back over to chatting. There we go. Okay, with that, thank you all for being here. I will see y'all tomorrow. Stream's supposed to end at 10. Yeah. But can go to 11? No, I don't have that much endurance. And I need to go edit because I put off editing. It's already 11 over here? Oh, yikes. That is, I mean, that's not super late, but you should definitely get to bed because sleep is important and y'all should be sleeping at correct times. Okay. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow at, what's today? Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow's gonna be a Minecraft stream from 11 to 2. Wow. That's interesting time. Okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow. And what's this? Drink your milk, eat your vegetables, stay safe, don't talk to strangers, or at least try and use your best judgment. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye! 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 And then this one.